in you.
If you have a question or query for Jewellery Maker, then you can contact our call centre on 0800 6444 655 and press option 2. Or alternatively, you can email help@jewellerymaker.com.
Here at Jewellery Maker, our in-house gemologists don't just check and verify the gemstones, but they give the final seal of quality control.
Welcome everyone to Design Inspirations. Thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. My name is Becky and we are in for a serious treat today. It is our third in the series of our chain mail step-by-steps tutorials. Do not be alarmed if you haven't watched the previous two. You can still get on board with us, and we are joined by the legend herself, Debbie Bulford. Hi Debbie, how are you?
I'm extremely well, thank you very much.
Good. Give us a little bit of a summary of what we're going to be looking at today.
Okay, well we had a request from a viewer last time I was on to do a Persian weave, so we're going to do the full Persian and half Persian.
Fab.
And then we're going to do something completely different and look at doing chainmail bead caps and a design that you can use as a bezel around a stone.
That is so exciting. The pieces that we've created, especially the bead caps, are so high-end.
Yes, they're
looking,
lovely,
aren't they? Beautiful. So we have got that coming up for you, and we have got two back in stock. So these are coming up for you in a little bit, but these are essentials, especially if you're looking at making your own jump rings. We have got the Deluxe wire coiling Gizmo, and you've got the Gizmo jig back in stock as well. I'm going to give you two other back in stock tools as well. Now, last time we had these on, when myself and Debbie did the first one of our chainmail series, right at the beginning of this year, January, they sold out in that show so quickly. And since then, for the second one, we were not able to get them back in stock. They have found their way back into our presence literally a couple of days ago, so we're bringing them to you now. It is the saw and the saw blades, and you've got your coil cutting pliers as well here. We're going to start with the coil cutting pliers, and do not worry if you're unsure as to exactly what they are. I will discuss these to you in a moment, but also Debbie is going to do us a little bit of a demo as well. So these are your coil cutting pliers, and these, when you want to make your own jump rings, they're a bit of an essential, aren't they, Debbie B?
They are. They are. I mean, I use them a lot at home, not just for doing chainmail, but for cutting my jump rings to do just everyday jewellery.
Yeah.
Once you're used to using them, you just make your own jump rings all the time.
It's so simple to use them as well, isn't it?
Really
We're going to be having a little look at how exactly to use these in a moment. But very simply, if you're looking at creating and making your own jump rings, which let's face it, can be a lot lower in cost than if you were to buy them individually. But if you are looking at creating them, you need to get your hands on this and the Deluxe coiler that we have coming up for you in a little bit. Now these are back in stock. They're so simple to use, and if you haven't worked with them before, we will show you later. But also on the back, it does have a little bit of a step-by-step instruction on here as well. Jump ring coil cutting pliers. Oh, try saying that after a wine. Let's bring your price in, shall we? £14.95. Now these are such a wonderful tool because there really isn't anything that can go wrong with them. They do what they do so effortlessly, and they're perfect if you are looking at getting into chainmail, which, let's face it, at the moment is really popular medium, isn't it, Debbie?
It is, and it's used with all sorts of things. I mean, even if you go into boutiques, there's always sort of a little bit of chainmail at the moment. I think it's because of the Downton Abbey influence, I think, all the vintage sort of look. And it just looks like it's come out of a jeweller's shop window, doesn't it? It looks very vintage.
It really does. So you can learn exactly how to use these, but get them now whilst you can, because they are back in stock, and last time we had these, they absolutely flew out. These will be coming to you, showing you exactly how to use them in a few moments. They're yours today for £14.95. And there are a few ways you can make jump rings, but realistically, this is one of the simplest, isn't it?
It is. Oh, by far. By far.
If you are going to be using these, you will of course need to get your hands on the saw and the saw bits as well. They're coming up for you in a moment or two. SYBD 83 is your price on these today, £14.95. I have got, if you are interested in chainmail, this first half hour I'm going to bring to you a chainmail special. Everything you need to get yourself on the journey, but also stock up. We've got jump rings, we've got clasps, we've got tools. After that, we will be heading over to Debbie B to have a little look at what she's going to be creating and learn our first few steps of the weaves. And also, after that, we are going to bring to you half hour of luxury for less. I have got some strands in there that are not to be missed. Back to Debbie to have a look at her really high-end pieces. And then in the final hour, a whole hour, under £10, I'm going to try and fit as many of those products as I can in that last hour. It's going to be fast-paced, so make sure you're waking up. Hello to lovely Margaret, Emma, Mary, Mabel, you've bought yourself one of these as well. Veronica, quite a few of you with it in your baskets. I'll let you know now because I can see quite a few new people on there. Check out as often as you like. It's only one postage and packaging until midnight tonight, £2.95. Ralph, Dorothy, Joanne, Mary, Emma's got herself some as well. We have got good quantity on this because it is back in stock, but if it's anything like last time, these are going to fly. And the thing is, people are buying them now, and we haven't even seen a demo with them. So as soon as that demo kicks in, there may well be a queue on the phone, especially as it's Debbie B. It's going to make it look so effortless and easy. So better to get them now whilst you can. Save yourself the hassle and the worry of missing out on these little goodies. I've got Victoria's getting herself some as well as these. Irene's got herself some. Michelle has got some well. Jean, Angela, you're thinking about it, check out some baskets online for me. There's probably about 20 of you online at the moment with it in your basket. It's better just to check out as soon as you can. You do not want to miss out on these goodies. Now, if you are going to get your hands on this today, which I do strongly suggest, it makes life so much easier, then you are going to need its little friend, the saw and saw blades. Now, this looks quite daunting, doesn't it? Let's be honest. It's so useful though. In here you're going to be getting your saw blades. Now you'll see that you've got the different sizes here. You haven't just got one of each, you've got a few of each of these. Now why is it important to have the different thicknesses and gauges of the blades?
You can use them for different projects. So rather than just give you a set of blades just to use for chainmail, just for sawing your pieces of wire ready for your jump rings, you can also use this for your perspex, for your aluminium. can be used for all sorts of different products. There's no point giving you one thing and then saying to you, oh, well, you've got to buy another one.
No.
So we give you the whole lot in a pack, and they are really, really useful. I use the number 2 for doing this sort of wire.
For the chain mail.
Yeah.
But if you want to work with the perspex, you need to be going higher up, don't you? The lovely thing with these as well is, if at any point you get a little bit overzealous with your sawing and they snap, the saw itself is perfect.
It is.
Because you have this adjustable section here, which means you can heighten it up, lower it down. So say you're at this length for a full blade and it snaps in the middle, you could simply just take it down and still use that blade. It's not broken as soon as it's snapped because this has the little lever on it. It's really easy to use. It is a little bit daunting perhaps to look at, but what would you say for someone who maybe hasn't worked with a saw before?
This is a far better saw than some you can buy off websites that can't be altered. It's got one length. Because as Becky rightly said, you can use your blade at whatever length. It just makes it so much more economical. It's also lightweight. Quite a few of the saws that I've got are so heavy to use. But this has got a nice handle, nice tactile handle, very, very simple to use. Don't be worried. Don't be put off. I'll talk you through how to use it in a second, but don't be put off by the saw. It really is very easy to use. Really is.
So give it a go, especially when you see the price on this. You're getting a selection of blades and you're getting the saw itself. Web price, £16.90, which is hugely competitive, especially as you said, Debbie, the fact that it is movable and you've got all these different blades. But it's not staying there. It is designer inspiration. It's our chainmail special. We want everyone to have a go at this for just £11.95 for you. £5 saving. You can't say fairer than that, can you? It's really worth getting your hands on it today. It is back in stock and it's going to be your relaunch price at £11.95. It may not be back on TV at that price, so get it whilst you can. We're doing it for designer inspiration and we're giving you a real low cost on this. And when I've had a look for sword and sword blades before, you're paying way over that in some areas, aren't you?
You are. I mean, I've got one at home, a big red thing that's really, really huge and far too heavy that I think I paid about £32 for, and that's without the blades.
Yeah. It is, and it's one of those things, again, that, yeah, you might have to replenish the blades now and again, but because you've got this movable handle, you don't have to do it as often as you might think.
No, this saw you'll have for life.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the blades you have to replace, and those are the least expensive of your worries, to be quite honest.
Definitely. To get your hands on this today for £5 off, it's £11.95 for you today. LN GC10, your acrylic saw frame and blades. Plenty of goodies in here for you, and we'll see again exactly how to use this in a moment when we go over for designer inspiration with Debbie in probably around 20 minutes or so. Do not forget as well, I've got your Deluxe Gizmo coming up. Gizmo? Sounds like a dance. I've got your Deluxe Gizmo coming up later on. If you have a normal Gizmo, the difference is quite phenomenal, actually. Not only do you get more rods, but there's other little extra bits built into this. And if you are getting into chainmail, it really is an essential because it's giving you so many different internal diameters on your jump rings, which essentially is one of the main things we're looking for, isn't it? When we're creating chainmail, we want to know that ID. So these are coming up for you a little bit. And again, we'll talk you through exactly how to use that. It's back in stock, £11.95, your price on this today. Now, I've got for you in this chainmail special, I said I've got the tools, but I've also got some of the essential finishing touches, let's say. And I've got here beautiful 925 in your large bolt ring clasps. I always think of these as looking a little bit nautical. You're getting a pair of these. Take a little look. Now it is 925, so it's serious luxury that we're working with here. You'll be able to see I've got the eye that I'm holding at the top and one at the bottom that are both movable. That means, especially with chainmail, that's really important because if you have the movable areas there, we all know chainmail has this beautiful ability of movement, And if you have these sections here with the dangle, that just means that your pieces, they're not rigid. You still get that point of the beautiful movable and malleable chainmail. You have on here your bolt ring clasps, and they are really large actually. 22 by 12 mil. Normally we're looking at 6, 7, 8 mil on a bolt ring clasp, but these are really chunky and hefty. That means that you've got added luxury there because you've got a serious amount of your 925 and it's on something that's really workable. Also, if perhaps bolt ring clasps you've worked with in the past and you find them a little bit fiddly to undo, these ones, because they have more size to them, they're much easier to use and undo and work with as well. So you've got a pair of these AYGP02. Should we take a little look at your 925 price on these large bolt rings? £6.95 is astonishing, isn't it? Because there's so much 925 in there, the highest grade of silver we can possibly bring to you. But it's designer inspiration. My producer Kirsty wants a set of these, so she's going to take the price down. It's not £6.95, £4.95. What do you think of that price?
I think that's really good. And don't forget, you're coming up to the summer now, so all the blue and whites are going to come in. So to team this in with your nautical class, perfect.
Totally. And you can have nautical that's not so naughty at £4.95.
Absolutely.
Can't you? A great deal for you today. And we are talking about chainmail, but obviously you could use these for anything.
Of course you could, yes.
Can't you? Absolutely anything. I've got multi-buyers up at the moment. Some people are buying 3 and 4 of this. Does not surprise me in the slightest. Yvonne, Josephine, Denise, Michaela, Vicky, Susan, Lorraine, Cheryl. Blimey, these names are coming up so quick I can't keep up. There's so many. Oh, Vicky, I see you've bought yourself a couple. Why not? Treat yourself, I won't tell. £4.95 for a pair of these. You've got a £2 saving. It's a multi-buy price. And if you are creating yourself a silver coloured jump ring, if you're going to make your jump rings with your silver wire, you want a beautiful matching clasp, don't you? And actually I've got some 925 jump rings coming up for you in a little bit. So you want to pair that luxury with a luxury clasp, don't you?
Yeah, and
at a lower price.
Sorry,
go on.
Butting in. Sorry,
no, don't worry.
Don't think that you're going to have to add, you know, £5 onto your cost. That's £2.50. Yeah. Think of individual added onto your design. That's not a lot to add on for sterling silver, and then add on obviously over the top what it's cost you to make it. But don't forget, you're not paying £5 an item. It's £2.50, which is nothing.
No.
For a sterling silver bracelet.
And it's nothing, especially when people know the name 925.
Exactly.
And people will be drawn to your stall at that name of 925.
Absolutely.
To think that you can work with it, I think as a designer it gives you a little bit of prestige. The fact that you can work with such high quality, but the fact of the matter is you're getting £2 off, £4.95 for you on these little beauties today. I've got for you now some really pretty 925 jump rings. It goes perfectly with what I was just saying actually. You've got a selection of these 925, and as I said earlier, the fact that they are 925, you want to get them with that clasp, don't you? Now, these ones are they 9 mil? They are the 9 mil. So it's a large jump ring. What are we looking at doing with the larger size jump rings, Debbie B?
Is that the 9 outside? It's the 9 outside diameter, isn't it?
It's the 9 outside diameter, yeah. Internal diameter, we're not sure of yet. I'll have a little look for you.
Well, those you could make the bead cap today, because that's what I've used for the bead cap.
Oh, fab.
And you could make yourself a bead if you use 2 bead caps, you'll see later. But we're also using that size to do all the Persian weaves today.
Are we? And why is it important that you use the larger jump rings?
It's because of the weave. It's the way it works. You'll see when you come over. It's the way that the rings interlink with each other that you need the size to go round and inside a link. Every weave is completely unique.
Yeah.
Every weave is completely different. But for this one, you need quite a large ring.
And as we were saying, we will have a look at how to make beautiful beading caps with the chainmail, and the fact that you can create chainmail working with those high-end strands that you might have. You know, you might have some topaz, you might have some gorgeous citrine, or some beautiful morganite. You're going to want to create high-end bead caps for those with this. So 925 really is your best option. Let's take a look at your wonderful price for 20 pieces, £6.95 for these today. And to do a beading cap, I was having a look before, you've not used loads and loads, have you?
No.
How many have you used to do a beading cap?
9 large, and then you do need 3 small, that's all, just 3 small links, but 9 large links, that's all.
And that's it. So if you're added in the smalls, you can get bead caps, 2 bead caps out of this, couldn't you? Which is extraordinary when you think about it, because I think chainmail, you often think you need loads of jump rings, you need loads of everything.
I wanted to do a couple of projects for people who are a bit nervous about doing chainmail.
Yeah.
There's something a little bit smaller to get your teeth into, and I think this would be quite a popular one.
Definitely. I can agree with that 100%, especially when you see the pieces, you'll fall in love. 20 of these, 925, 9mm jump rings, external diameter, and these today are for you at just £6.95. So high shine as well. That's what I love about 925. Especially, I think, when you're creating really intricate chainmail looks, the fact that you get such a high shine is beautiful, isn't it? Really stunning.
You can definitely tell the sterling silver.
Yes,
definitely
100%.
Stands out a mile.
£6.95 is your price. Now, a lot of the time I know that some people either adore silver or you adore gold, and perhaps you don't like to cross over that much, but I find that this next one I'm going to show you is a happy medium between the two. I don't know anyone who says, oh, I don't like rose gold. Everyone adores it, and I've got plenty of it here for you. These are your rose gold, again luxury 925, 5mm 50 piece of your beautiful closed jump rings. Now these themselves are much daintier, aren't they? Can we still use these for chainmail?
You can. In fact, one of the pieces that I'm using today are using the rings that you had just a second ago, the larger silver rings, and those small ones. So you'll see how to use them together, because they can connect into tiny flowers, and you can do all sorts of things with these jump rings. It's just endless, really.
And that's exactly what we like, isn't it? When you're purchasing something, you can use them for anything. And we are talking about chainmail, but for anything jump rings.
It doesn't have to be chainmail. It can just be linked together into a chain if you want to. Just link them together just as a beautiful charm bracelet.
Yep. Or even if you're just attaching a nice, you know, one of those bolt ring clasps that we had earlier on, just to attach them. Because realistically, you don't want to use a 925 bolt ring clasp to really do it up and then just attach it with a normal jump ring. You want to keep that quality up there, don't you? Should we bring your price in for these? 50 pieces, £6.95. Wonderful deal on these again for you. ZKGP47 is your price for these stunning rose gold 925 today. 50 pieces in here in total. £6.95. Now I did bring you earlier on the bolt rings. How about now I get to you some high-end, again, toggle clasps. Now, a lot of people love toggle clasps. What do you think it is about a toggle clasp that people adore so much?
I think they're easy to do up. I have arthritis in my one hand, and I find them far easier to do up than standard bolt ring clasps. Those large ones you had on earlier I find easy to do, but the toggle clasp I think I just find just simple to do. But they can always be used at a different stage of your jewellery. It doesn't have to be used as a clasp on a bracelet, on a necklace. No. It can be used part of the design, and I think the toggle clasp is slightly more decorative. Yeah. And more versatile.
It is, I think it's probably one of the most versatile clasps that we have.
Yes, I think you're right.
Because you can use them as a clasp. They're beautiful on an asymmetric, gorgeous if you have a little bob haircut and you want to show them off at the back, but also you can use them as part of cufflinks or, you know, draping through the centre of these. They're so useful and really versatile. And also, if you get your hands on quite a few of these, you can just link them together to create a bracelet in themselves, can't you?
Absolutely, you can.
Again, it's your rose gold and it's high quality, 925. So the 925 we're relating to the silver, that's the percentage of silver, 92.5%. And then overlaid on top of that is this rose gold, which is 7 carats worth. So a double whammy of luxury. And the sizing's great as well. 23 by 11.5 mil. You're getting 3 pairs of these in total. Let's get your price in. £8.95. But we gave you a deal on the clasp before. We want you to get them home and understand how luxurious it feels to work with. Not only such a wonderful, versatile clasp, but also it's such a high quality. So we're gonna take it down in price for you. You're getting 3 pairs for just £6.95 today. So literally working out just a couple of quid each, aren't they? And these could add so much to your designs.
They're such a lovely shade as well, aren't they?
Oh, my goodness.
Delicate shade of rose gold.
Oh, almost
delicate.
that old gold look.
It is actually. It's a beautiful colour. Absolutely beautiful.
Really beautiful. To be able to get your hands on 3 pairs of these today at such a low cost is not to be missed. So beautiful. And so usable as well. I've got some more jump rings for you coming up now. We're keeping it high status with the luxury, aren't we, today? These are your 5 mil jump rings. Oh, sorry, ladylike. I can't get into it. Just chew it open. Oh, delicious. Bit of plastic in the afternoon. Oh, it is lunchtime. These ones here, 925, and these are your 5 mil jump rings. I'll get a few of these out for you. Don't forget as well, if you've got any questions for Debbie B, get in touch with us today. We want any questions. If it's not to do with chainmail, don't worry too much. It can be, it doesn't have to be. Message in jewellerymaker.com, isn't it? That's it. Forgot where I was then. Also text us in, start your text at JM Studio, it's 60777. If you want any tips on those finishing touches, perhaps you're looking at selling jewellery for the first time, then Debbie B can answer any questions related to that. Here are the beautiful 5 mil gold plated 925 jump rings. 50 pieces of these we're going to be getting our hands on today. So if you manage to get your hands on the beautiful golden tones, and know that mixed metallics is in massively at the moment, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It is. Absolutely it is. Yeah, I mean, those that mix with the rose gold and the silver, the 3 seem to be mixed together quite happily now in lots of jewellery. You can make one of that, the European 4-in-1, there's a picture behind you. The black and silver that's behind you on there. Yeah. You could use, you know, the rose gold for one and the gold for another, or the silver and the rose gold. You could use all sorts of colours. And it's stunning, absolutely stunning. Really beautiful idea.
You're getting 50 of these. Let's get your price in, shall we? £5.95 for them today. And as we said earlier, do not think you have to use loads and loads on a design. You do not, absolutely. If you're just creating a beautiful necklace or bracelet, you might only need to use 2 of these to attach your clasp on. You're getting 50 in total. And these today are just £5.95 for you. Now, I'm going to quickly recap for you my first 2 tools. Reason being, we're going to, after a break, we're going to go over and see exactly how to use these. And also, some people have probably just finished off their Sunday roast, or actually probably just put it in the oven, haven't they? So may well have missed these. We're bringing them to you now. I've got for you these Coil cutting pliers. They're back in stock. SYBD 83. Your price on these today was just £14.95. Last time we had them on, they came in, they flew out. I've got to tell you already that these are back in stock today. You've not seen them since we had them back in. We had them in January. They flew out in one show with us, and we've got them back in. But half of my stock has already gone on these. Already gone on these. We're going to be seeing exactly how to use them after the break. They're so simple to use. You've got your little purchase point here. You've got the area where you're sawing here. We'll show you exactly how to use them. It'll all make sense very soon. Get your hands on them now whilst you can though, because as soon as we start that demo on how to use this, there will be an influx of people to try and get their hands on this. So it's best to get it now as opposed to when the influx happens and you may well miss out. 50% of my stock has already gone. £14.95 for the coil cutting pliers on this. As well as that, its partner in crime, it is our saw blade and your saw frame. So on this, we've got for you your different size and different gauges of your blades. You're getting a few in each of these. It was £11.95 for you today on this. Got a few in each size, not just for your chainmail, but also for things like your perspex and many other goodies you can use this for. You've got this changeable, alterable handle on this too. So even if a saw blade does snap, do not worry, it's not the end of the world. You can use it still. £11.95. It's lightweight, it's usable. If you haven't used it before, do not be afraid, especially as half of my stock has gone on this again. You are getting in these saw blades 24 blades in total, so you're getting a fair few of each of the sizes here. It's really usable, it's going to last you a lifetime, and it's yours today for just £11.95. Half of my stock is gone on this though. For back in stock, I've got coming up your Deluxe Gizmo and your metal jig as well. Both of these are coming back today for you. We'll be having a look at how to use them, discussing exactly what to do with them in a moment, but these are coming back for you. In a little bit, we'll be showing you exactly what to do with these. We're very excited to have them back in the building, I've got to say. It's lovely to be able to work with these, and if you have got the normal Gizmo and you're loving that, you're going to love when we get into exactly what you can do with this. Now, coming up after this little break that's coming, I've got the wonderful Debbie B with one of her design and weaves. We're looking at the full and half Persian in that time. It was sent in a request by you. If you do have any requests, do get in touch. We will try our best to bring it in. Do just message us in 60777, start your text with JM Studio. Also, then after that, I have got for you a whole half hour of luxury for less. There are some gemstone strands in there that I have not seen in ages. Some real beauty in there, and also in that time I'm going to keep you up to date with exactly what's been going on Steve's travels. We're going back over to the wonderful Debbie B to have a look at your bezel and beading cap, and then in my final hour it's going to be fast paced. I hope you've woken up by then. It will be your under £10 hour. So many treats in there for every single pocket. So make yourself a brew, get yourself comfy. After this break, design inspiration. See you then.
Jewellery Maker have an extensive range of DVDs for all abilities. Each of our mediums has an introductory DVD to help you get started. If you're already an experienced jewellery maker, we have a collection of projects and more advanced DVDs to take your designs to the next level. We are always filming new DVDs with our specialist guest designers, so visit our website for more information.
Get involved with Jewellery Maker by sending the studio a message during our live hours. You can send a text to 60777 and start your message with JM Studio, or alternatively, go to our website and click on Watch the Live Show, simply type your message into the box and press send. Make sure you stay tuned in case your message is read out. Get interactive with Jewellery Maker.
If you miss a Jewellery Maker show, then simply go to our YouTube page where you'll be able to find hours of Jewellery Maker footage. Search by show, date or type. Alternatively, search by guest designer by using our playlist page. You can also find hours of tutorials with handy hints and tips to give you inspiration. Our YouTube page is updated on a daily basis, so you can access any show at any time. Stay in touch with Jewellery Maker.
Jewellery Maker ships to the following countries. We offer 2 delivery services, standard and premium. So wherever you are in the world, Jewellery Maker are never far away.
Hello everybody. Look at us matching outfits.
Oh, I know.
We looked a bit like Charlie's Angels then. We are here with the wonderful Debbie B, and we are going to, on Designer Inspirations today, have a little look at our third part in our chainmail. We've created so many beautiful pieces here to show you today. Look at this. We're going to be showing you how to do this in next few hours. We'll be showing you how to create that.
We will.
But before that, we're aware that some of you might have recently joined us, or perhaps you got your hands on a few tools in the past and thought, oh, I've completely forgotten how to make those jump rings. So we are going to show you exactly how you can take part in this. Making your own jump rings.
Yes.
Discuss.
Okay. Right. Some of you may have the basic Gizmo, and this is a deluxe Gizmo, because with the basic Gizmo you basically just get that on the top. If I put that down, you just get this bit to there.
Yeah.
And then you have to attach that to a block of wood or your table or what have you, or clamp it to your table. Here, it does it all for you, because there we have the clamp already attached, and you just literally turn it to, obviously, to clamp it to your table. One thing I would say, obviously, be careful if it is your dining room best table. Make sure you put something underneath, like a beading mat or a piece of cork or table mat or something, to make sure you don't damage your table, because you have to do it quite tight. And then down the side here, rather than having 2 holes, you have 4. Now you actually get 5 mandrels in your kit, but the smallest one you get a short and a longer mandrel to go through the tiny hole. But because of this, you get a lot more variance on size. On the standard mandrel, you'll get the middle 2 size holes. With this one, you get the larger and the smaller. And the mandrel is that. It's a piece of wire that has got a kink in it, and that's your handle. And for those of you who have never ever seen this before, all you do is you take a piece of wire and you wind it around the handle very, very quickly, place it into the relevant hole, whichever one it fits. Obviously this has got to be clamped to your table. Turn your handle and the coil starts by the handle. So you just literally wind it, and there you've got your coil jump rings. If you find here that there's a gap at the beginning, just push against your mandrel and it will sort of close up those rings. That's starting to go up the handle now. But
look how quick and easy that is to create. I have got this Deluxe Gizmo coming up for you in today's show, so you have got the chance to get your hands on it. And the Deluxe Gizmo, because of the different size, you get a different internal diameter, don't you?
You do indeed, yes. And one tip, don't wind it really, really tight, because we have got 1 or 2 mandrels in the building that have got coils on that we cannot get off.
Cannot take them off?
No.
No.
And don't be tempted to put hand cream or anything along the mandrel, because sometimes it can react with the coating on the wire. So don't do that. You don't want to strip the coating.
Good tip.
So just don't wind it, don't pull it really, really tight. Just let the wire go round naturally.
Yeah. So you've used the Gizmo, which I'll bring to you in a moment.
Yep.
You've got your coils.
Yes.
Next step.
Right, okay. So next you have your coils, and I've got a little one here that I made earlier with the smallest mandrel in the kit, using some copper wire. So there is your little coil, and then I want to make some tiny jump rings. So how do I do that? I have got my coil cutting pliers here.
These are the ones that are coming up on your screen right now. Now they look A, like a dinosaur, and B, like something a nasty dentist might use, don't they?
Teeth. Yeah,
they
sorry.
do. Look a bit dangerous, to be honest.
There you go. See that?
These are £14.95 for you today. We'll see exactly what they are for now.
You've got a post on one side, and you have a groove on the other, and that's where your blade goes through. So if I open them that way, see that?
Yeah, I see.
All right, see a little dent in the middle?
Yeah.
So that post is just, I'm just going to pop them down on my surface here now. That post is to literally just lean on. It's just to balance what you're doing here.
It gives you good purchase, doesn't it?
Just so you've got it at an angle. So you can see all the cutting sides depending whether you're left-handed, right-handed or whatever. So I'm going to put that down now and just cut a tiny little coil off my jump rings that I made earlier.
So you just cut a small section, don't you?
Cut a small section. You probably do about 10-15 rings at a time.
That's good.
Do you want me to talk about this first, or do you want me to just saw it?
I don't know.
Oh, right.
Whatever you want to do,
should we just saw it? Just saw it.
Whatever you want to do.
Right, so all you need to do is place it within the groove. You can see it inside, like that. Place it in, take your saw. Now, one thing I haven't got is lubricant for this. Normally you'd put something like the balm that you get in the silver clay kit, or you might want to use some petroleum jelly or something like that, just to rub along the blade. You can see they're starting to pop along the blade.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
And you can rub that along the blade to make sure it doesn't break quite as easily, and they'll just snap along the blade. You'll start to get a run of them coming along the blade and they'll fall off. And then, I know these are ever so tiny, you get perfectly saw cut jump rings that you can then click back together, and they're perfect either side. They're a straight cut.
And because they are saw cut, when they are linked back into position, it's so secure, isn't it?
Take out, you can see dust on the table here. You can take out just such a tiny amount, it's a tiny little bit of dust here, you probably can't see, a little bit. You take out such a tiny hair's breadth of wire that you can still click them back together.
Which is so important, because the last thing you want is to create these jump rings and they don't actually loop together. So you make a beautiful chainmail thing and it falls apart after a couple of days.
Yeah, and not only that, but it catches on your clothes.
Yes,
you know, you want it so it's nice and smooth. So that's just gone back together, that's into a circle. So it's nice and smooth, and you know that when you wear it, it's not going to catch on things, which would be awful if you sold something and you know, it scratched on you or your clothes. So that's how to use the pliers. It's gone back together.
So the pliers, very simple to use,
very
obviously.
simple.
And by the looks of it, there isn't really an alternative in particular. I wouldn't like to be holding a coil and sawing it into...
There are two other ways of doing it. One that I don't think's made anymore, I got from a gentleman who unfortunately passed away, a thumb and forefinger and a chainmail palm, which I don't know whether you can still get for jewellers now. So you can hold the coil in your hand and saw.
Sounds
now,
dangerous.
I wouldn't like to do something that size. I think I'd worry about the fingers. The only other thing you can get is something that's like a big metal case, and you get a saw, or a circular saw, and go along it, but you're talking 3 figures plus, you know. It's a lot of money.
So really, safety-wise and price-wise, this is one of your best ways to do it.
Or cut with side pliers or flush cutter pliers.
But again, you get a lot done quickly this way.
Yeah, you get, I mean, you can't put very many in there, but I would say 10 to 15 rings you can get done in seconds. And if you need 100 odd for a bracelet, how long is that going to take you?
Yeah, mere minutes, isn't it? Which is fab to do. Probably you could make them quicker than it would take you to open the packets.
Well, yes, and when you sit in front of the TV and you're doing it, you don't really notice the time anyway. You do it in seconds, you know.
Definitely. So those are so simple to use. They're not as scary as they look, are they? And these are yours today, £14.95. Now I'm going to bring you the saw on these. What I would say is I've got a third of my stock left on these, so do get your hands on them whilst you can. Now the saw's coming up next. Now this is the one with the 24 saw blades in the different sizes, and you've got the saw itself. Now we are very limited quantity on these already. They are only back in the building here and now, and it's your only chance to get them if you manage to get yourself on the phone lines in the next few moments. 0800 644 655, £11.95. Now we've seen how these are used. We have had a message in about loading.
Right.
So would you like to show us that? I can chat through whilst you unload if you like.
Okay.
So we've got in here the different gauges. We've said that to create the jump rings we're working with number 2 on here, but of course you're going to want to go for the stronger and thicker ones if you're working with things such as perspex. So is it easy to load?
Yes.
Well, good.
You can see
It's been awkward if it wasn't.
Just a bit, you can see here you have a plate here with a screw, see that? And the same at the top. So your blades have a definite right and wrong way. When you get your blades out, you can run your finger along one side and it's smooth, and the other side and it's serrated. So there is a definite right and wrong side to these blades. So place your blade right way up at the front of your saw. Place it in the back of your saw. Now I'm going to just sit back a minute because you need to
rock back a little.
Yes. You need to undo the bottom blade so the saw is actually the right width of the gap between the two, and then lean it against something and push until the blade starts to bend to one side. It starts to kink, then tighten it and it will spring back. And you should be able to hear.
Can you hear that?
Yeah?
Yeah.
It should hear that noise. If it's really dull, like a guitar string that's about to break, then you know it's not tight enough. But you need that spring back. So you need to put it in the front, measure to make sure the blade hits the front and the back, and then put some pressure against it and just push the blade together and tighten it and it will spring. So then it's like a drum really. It's really, really stiff, okay?
You sound so angelic doing that.
Do I?
Yeah.
Not for long.
I've had a few questions coming for
good,
you.
I like this bit. Yes.
Send in as many messages as you want today. We're going to try and get plenty answers. This one is from Julie. Hello, Julie. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. It says, hi, everyone. Enjoying the show as always. Oh, good. That's handy. I have these pliers, but when I cut them, they squash and don't cut. What am I doing wrong?
That's what happened on the last show, wasn't it?
Yes, I remember it
the
well.
blade's blunt. I know. I tried. How many times did I do it? How embarrassing live! And I was
so
while you were
awkward.
talking, I was still going. Ah! Then off camera, I changed the blade to a sharp blade, through like butter. So I would think either your saw blade's upside down, or it's blunt, or it's sometimes you pull back more than you do forward.
Okay.
And these blades go a certain way. They're rough one way and smooth the other. So turn your blade round and have a go.
Have a go at that way.
Definitely
even if
blade.
it is a new blade and you're thinking, oh well, it's not working.
Turn it round and do it again, because sometimes
Try.
you put more power pushing forward. I do pulling back, but some people push forward and the teeth might be in the wrong way, so turn it round.
Just double check. Thank you very much for that message,
Been there, done
Julie. Been there, done that on live TV.
Yeah.
This one is from Lorraine. Hi, Lorraine, in beautiful
dear.
Greater Manchester. Hope it's sunny where you are today, Lorraine. What is the relevance of the different size blades, and how would it affect the size of the jump rings we make when using the saw?
I have only ever used a size 2, because that's what I was told to use when I very first started making my jump rings, and having watched various YouTube clips, everyone seems to use a number 2 saw blade. The different size of blades can be used for different things. For your perspex, you can use the 1 to get a really, really smooth cut, and then go higher up if you want to get a to go through to go through it and actually really saw through a big piece of perspex. Through aluminium, you'll need the number 3 or 4 to go through. So we've given you lots of different blades, not just for the jump rings, but because we sell lots of different mediums, it's nicer to give you a saw and everything else, so you can have a go at everything rather than just give you a saw blade for one particular thing. So number 2, basically for a 0.8 to a 1 mil wire, I'd use that. Perhaps if you use a lower grade, if you were making them just for jewellery making and not for chainmail, you might use something finer. But a number 2 is better.
And if you want to change the size of the jump ring, that's more related to the gizmo of the coil and the gauge of the wire as well, isn't it?
Saw.
So I suppose with a 2, it's strong enough to go through the wire, but it's also thin enough that they will just fit beautifully back
I have
together.
tried with the number 1, but it's so fine it breaks very easily, and I'm heavy-handed. Everything really. So number 2 is okay for me. It's quite strong. So yes.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for sending that in, Lorraine. £14.95 is the price on your blade. Now we have still got some of the saw in the pliers, but we've taken it off because I've got single figures. But I've still got a pretty good availability on the coil cutters right now. But if you want them, you need to be quick. I've got single figures left of the saw. £14.95 is your price on this one today. SYBD83. Now if you have any messages, do message us in. Go to jewellerymaker.com. There's a little box there, and in grey it says send a message to the studio. Type it in there, it'll wing its way to us. Alternatively, you can text us. Text number is 60777. Start your text with the word JM Studio, and that'll get to us. We want to answer as many questions, help as many people out as we possibly can today. Make sure you do start your text with that word JM Studio. Let's have a little look at a few more messages.
Yes.
Your message is from the lovely Lizzie in Devon.
But it's lovely there with the sunshine.
Oh my goodness, I love Devon.
It's very nice.
You get some very beautiful men in Devon, you know. Honestly.
Do you?
Honestly, yeah, beautiful.
Do you?
Oh,
I can see you've been looking.
no, not at all the time. Thank you, Lizzie, for messages in. It says, hi, can Debbie tell us what the gauge of wire she's using in the jump ring is, please, from Lizzie?
I tend to use 0.8 or 1 mil if I'm cutting my own. I find anything lower than that, especially in a coated wire, the coating does affect the wire. And I'm not the only one that thinks that. It says that in quite a few books. The coating sometimes can affect the wire. It becomes very, very soft.
Yeah.
So if you go lower than a 0.8, it tends to be too soft. And if you catch anything like I do, bracelets, and pull, the rings will just come apart. So I don't go lower than a 0.8 for making my own. Okay. So 0.8 and a 1 mil wire.
Those are your best ones to use. Thank you for messages in, Lizzie. We've got another message for you. Popular today. We've got loads of messages, of course. This one is in from Andrea in Norfolk. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Debbie. Sold my first commission yesterday. Round of applause. Round of applause. Well done. And have another one to do by May. No pressure. Thanks for bringing such a wonderful skill to us. Love and light from Andrea. Oh, that is so wonderful.
Oh, Andrea, thank you so much. I know that we sit here and we talk about it and we don't really see who's at the other end, do we? It's nice to know somebody's actually there, you're not talking to yourself.
Yes.
But thank you so a bit silly, really. Handy. But thank you so much, because we really do appreciate comments like that. It is lovely. Thank you.
And honestly, massive congratulations, especially as it's your first one.
Hard work doing this.
Good luck for the one in May as well. This one is from Amanda in Dorset. Hi Amanda, it says, hi, please can Debbie show the best way to hold the pliers and which side is best to saw on? I've gone through a lot of 0.8. Thanks. Not a problem, we can do that for you, Amanda.
On
Best way
these
to
pliers.
Hold and use. We have still got some of the pliers on at the moment, $14.95.
Right, okay. I'm right-handed. So the power and it needs to be in your dominant hand, so that the saw will be in your right hand. The left hand will then take the pliers. I tend to put my knuckles onto my mat, hold my pliers, and then the pressure is put on with my thumb on top to hold it really, really still, and then saw. Just gently, but do not saw like that, otherwise you'll saw them in half.
Oh yeah.
Just saw them just at the side.
Yeah,
and just let them pop out. Just let the chain, just let the little links just pop out along the blade.
And how much pressure do you put on this?
You do press quite hard, actually. You really do. So again, do it on top of a mat and don't do it on a table. If you slip, oh gosh, the mess is, I don't want any costs for dining room tables.
No.
So you need a mat that isn't going to slip. You need to hold it really, really firm and saw.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for sending that in, Amanda. I really hope that helps you out. Got another one here from Anastasia.
I love that name.
Oh my goodness, Anastasia, you sound like a princess. That's so beautiful. JM Studio says, hi Debbie, does the cutting pliers accommodate all size of jump rings? Thank you from Anastasia. Good question.
Yeah, it does. In fact, here is a coil that I coiled off the largest mandrel
on the Gizmo. Don't forget to put the Deluxe Gizmo back in stock. It's coming back for you in a little bit.
Just to prove it does take it. There you go. It's just where you hold it, really. Yes, it does take it. I've made them a bit long there, so you just need to put that inside. So yes, it's just really something to hold them with. That's all these pliers are for, really.
Yeah.
And because you've got the grooves, it just holds it firm rather than using normal pliers that you would squash. So this just holds it in a round container, really. So yes, you can use it for any size.
So that's with the biggest mandrel. So what gauge is that, and also what size are those?
Those are, this is a 1 mil wire.
Yep.
And I think, let me just have a look, because I've got some here.
Your ID. Let me have a look. I can have a look over here as well.
About 6 mil, between 5 and 6 mil, I think, inside. It might give you 7.
5.2 internal diameter is the thickness on the largest
rod. 5 and 6, yep. So that's how big they are.
So that's how big those ones are. Gizmo's coming up for you in a wee while. I hope that helped, Anastasia. So yeah, any size really.
Yep.
Love that. Brilliant. Okay, got another message in for you. Debbie, you are popular today, aren't you?
Thank you very much.
This one's from Amanda in Knots. Hello, Amanda. Says, I am really confused. I have those blades, but in mine, 1 is the thickest, strongest blade, and 6 is very fine.
Have a look at the packet.
Surely thicker wire needs to have a stronger blade.
Let's have a look.
You'd think, wouldn't you, Amanda?
Now mine are 2 is the second thickest I've got at home.
Right.
Depends what make your saw is. Do you know she's right? Look, it goes from 6 is the finest. Now I've confused you there. I do apologise because mine at home
go the other way.
We're not from Jewellery Maker. Mine go the opposite way.
Debbie, you've just let it slip then. But
because I've had mine a long time.
Yeah.
I bought the blade, the saw from here, but had the blades for ages. Sorry.
So
can I reiterate on that? Yes, because that's
we'll
very
edit
confusing.
that bit out before.
No. I think we can't do that.
Really?
Actually.
Oh,
no,
okay.
No. Mine go 1, 2, 3, and mine are really, really thick when they get to the other end.
Yeah.
Really, really thick. But no, the number 2, you're quite right. Well done. Thank you, Amanda. Otherwise, everyone would be very confused. Number 2 is here. That's what you use for your chainmail, and you're quite right. The thinnest is down here.
So the higher the number, the thinner the blade.
That's really confusing, isn't it? Yes.
Isn't it? But yes, good point to make.
Yeah, very good point to
So
make.
for your perspex, etc., you want to use the 1.
Yes.
Don't you?
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Amanda.
Yes.
So essentially, you want a pretty thick one.
Yes, the one that I use is number 2, and I use that because, as I say, I'm very, very heavy-handed, and on all of the clips that I've watched and all the books that I've got 1 or 2 books with me here. I'll just double check when we go to a break, but they all recommend a 2 blade.
Right. Yeah, I see.
And I phoned a place in the Jewellery Quarter, quite a big company, when I first started doing it here, just to double check, and that's the number they gave me to get as well.
I see. Brilliant. So very good point to make, Amanda.
Well
Thanks
done.
very much. Hope that's cleared it
Spy
up.
Club, you
10
see.
points, Amanda, to you. I want to let you know that the pliers, I am in low stock on those now. Please get your hands on them, because have we still got some of the saw and the saw blade? Possibly a couple. This one is from Shauna. It says, can you cut ready bought closed rings in the pliers? Good question.
Probably not, because you would need them in a coil. You can't just put a single ring in there because they would just fall. I think it would need something more than just 1 ring.
Okay.
I think it would be difficult to hold 1 ring. You might as well just use some flush cutter pliers for doing that, I think. So the answer is no. I don't think, if that's what you're going to buy these for, I don't think they're really suitable. I think you probably just need a nice pair of cutting pliers.
And give them a little snip.
Yes, I think so.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for sending that in, Shauna. I've got a couple more for you today. This is from Paul. It says, hi Debbie again. Is it possible to make jump rings from twisted wire Gizmo coil?
Absolutely.
Please?
I've done that this week, funnily enough. Yes. And they work really well. Really well.
Does it give a different look or a different feel?
Yeah. In fact, there are some twisted rings in the kits that are not made from the Gizmo, but you can see the look of them. You see that on the bracelet there?
These ones here.
Yeah, there's some twisted little rings, and that's what they would look like. Can you see them twisted? Like little ropes.
They're like little rope twists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got some in here actually.
Yeah, you can see them. Beautiful little detail. Okay. So it gives you a look like that.
Yeah, just gives you like a rope detail, and that can look really, really pretty on chainmail jewellery.
Paul,
really
give
lovely.
that a go and let's see, please.
Yeah,
I'd like to see them. That would be fab. Thank you for sending that one in. Really limited stock on your pliers at the moment. Could be your last chance to purchase now. £14.95. Debbie, this is from Amanda.
Yeah.
Can I redeem myself with Debbie and share my top tip again for reaming pearls with a saw? Oh,
yes.
Amanda! Oh,
I remember now.
I remember now.
That was, and I had a go at that when I got home, and it worked a treat.
Oh my goodness!
Absolutely works a treat. If you undo one end of the saw and you put your pearl on, and then do it up again, and you run the pearl up and down the saw blade, and it reams it far better than a reamer, and it's perfect. Because a reamer is obviously tapered, and sometimes you get a bigger hole one side
than the other.
But with the saw blade.
Fabulous. It was Amanda's top tip last time we had a chainmail, and it was, we were both
Amanda, can I just say that when did they say that my next one was? 7th of April? Must check. I need another top tip. Just get ready with another top tip next month.
You're going to be getting homework today.
Yeah, Amanda,
anyway,
you're going to be my top
you've
tip
got
lady.
Extra homework, Amanda. I want more messages in April, please.
Yes.
So here's another one from Angela in Swansea. Hello, thank you for joining us. Because of you, Debbie, I made my mom a necklace and bracelet using the Byzantine chainmail for her 65th birthday for May. So thank you very much.
Oh, I bet she was chuffed with that. I mean, there's nothing like Byzantine weave. I know it's the first one everybody learns, but it looks so beautiful, so pretty. What a lovely present.
Lovely present, and happy 65th as well to your mum.
Yes.
How lovely.
How lovely.
It's nice to hear those types of things, isn't it?
Truly individual and personal. It's lovely. It's really nice.
Thank you for sending in your messages. You have still got time to send in more messages. We'll be answering them throughout the show.
Will.
But it definitely is going to be one of your last attempts to purchase the coil cutting pliers with us here today. We've talked you through exactly how to use these. They have a little instruction on the back. And if you have been watching along now and you're thinking, oh yes, I think that's a really good idea actually to do that, but I've forgotten. Don't worry, this will be put on our Jewellery Maker YouTube page so you can watch it back at your own leisure. Get your hands on them whilst you can though.
Yep.
So useful. £14.95. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, adieu, I'll be back soon. I'll stop singing now. Anyway, we're going to be heading back over to the wonderful Debbie in moments. But first, what I want to do for you is I want to give you the first designer inspiration bundle. And we're going to be having a little look at what we've managed to create with this. Now, it's quite a nice one, this actually. I think it's possibly the first bundle I've ever brought to you that has a tool in it. So I'll talk you through exactly what we've got in here and then we'll give you the chance to purchase. So in here I have got a tool. Now Debbie, am I right in thinking you put this together?
Yes.
Why have you put in there a set of the chain nose pliers?
Because for those people who are starting out, I just thought it's nice to give them something to be able to open a packet and get working. But these pliers are particularly pointed. And to get into all the different tiny little holes of all the chain, these are perfect. These are really, really good pliers to use.
They've got a precision end.
They have.
Haven't they?
They're really good.
Because they're so precision, they're just so easy to use and get into all your nooks and crannies, aren't they?
Absolutely, they're perfect.
Another thing with pliers is, say someone has at home the starter toolkit and they've already got a set of pliers. What would you say to them? What's the use in getting another set of yourself? So?
Well, I never use my round nose pliers to do chainmail because you have to put pressure on the rings and you end up having dents all the way along. So you only ever use chainmails or flat nose pliers, depending what you want to call them. So I would use my flat nose pliers out of my toolkit and then use those as the second pair of pliers. So I never use round nose pliers for any of my chainmail.
Very good.
So you need a second flat pair.
As well as this, it is chainmail, so we're bringing you your jump rings. You've got 100 in each of these, and they're your golden saw cuts. So you've got two different sizes. You've got a pack of 100 with an internal diameter of 4.1 mil, outside diameter of 6.5. But as we know with chainmail, it's the ID we really want to know, and on these it's 4.1. And then you have the larger size over here, and the internal diameter on these is 6.7 mil. So 200 jump rings in total in your two different sizes. As well as that, you're going to be getting yourself a really complimentary findings pack. This findings pack is stashed full of goodies, and it's really nice too that the matching in the colour is really exceptional, isn't it? The fact that you've got this matching golden tone is beautiful. You've got so many goodies in here, including but not limited to your head pins. You've got your flattened head pins as well, and you've got those really thin little head pins, haven't you? What do you think of those, Debbie?
Yeah, really good actually. They're good for doing twists and for doing very tiny seed beads, and the strands of distinction, which have got fine holes in. They're perfect.
They are perfect. Great for pearls as well, aren't they?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Sometimes you just can't use them. They've got this beautiful toggle clasp in there as well, which is this really large twisted toggle clasp. In this pack, you'll be getting 1 meter's worth of your chain, 10 of your rope finish jump rings, 15 of your crimp covers, 15 of your jump rings, 15 of your ball head pins, those are the extra long ones, 50mm, and you're going to be getting the ball disc head pins, which are 48mm. You've got your featherweight head pins as well, those really thin ones. You've got one of these beautiful large toggle clasps, one of the rope finish toggle clasps as well that we have for you. You're also going to be getting some sliding clasps, 2 pairs of your fancy earring findings, 2 pairs of your regular earring findings, 20 of your crimp tubes, and also 3 of those beautiful ribbon cord ends as well, which are great. They're the S-shaped ones as well. They're so usable and, again, really easy to work with, aren't they?
Very, very easy to work with. And I've used hardly anything out of this kit at all. Hardly anything. You'll see all the findings I've got left here. There's just an amazing amount left over.
But you've created so much,
I have,
haven't you?
I have, and I haven't added anything. There's 2 designs here that I've made before this show, out of my stash, but besides that, the rest is out of the kits.
Yeah. You're going to be getting 3 of these. These are the S-shape extenders. The wonderful thing with chainmail is the fact that once you've done the chainmail, you can use these findings to really add a finishing touch, but also these are just to use for everything. Yeah. Aren't they?
They are.
You could use this for so many things. And macrame, just your normal wire, just your normal cording. And you can take the whole thing apart as well, because you can use the S shape and just do 2 jump rings. You can use the extender as a nice peak of chain, and then you can use the clasps themselves at the end just to finish something off. That's maybe right. A bookmark even.
That's right.
Couldn't you? All of the findings that you will be getting are up on your screen right now, and that includes those beautiful twisted design ribbon-like cord spacers that we were talking about earlier on. Now you think I'm stopping there, but I'm not. There is so much in this wonderful kit. I've also got for you this beautiful strand of these faceted rice beads. Now, what made you put these ones in here, Debbie?
Well, I thought for those of you who perhaps want to use this kit but don't actually want to do the chainmail, which I quite understand not everybody does, I thought it'd be unfair just to put pliers and a kit and a couple of rings. So I thought I'd put a couple of strands of gemstones in there for you, and I have used this, but in the next part of the chainmail sequence. So I've used this for the bead caps over the top and to use that in a necklace, but there is so much in this kit that you can use just for standard jewellery, not nothing to do with chainmail. You can do whatever you want, really.
Yeah. 260 carats worth we've got of these beautiful large black agate rice beads, and you've also got one of my favourite scoop. There it is. Now this is a multi-gem scoop and pastel colours. Take a look at the amount you have of this. You've got in here some beautiful rose quartz, you've got some fluorite in here, some really beautiful banded fluorite, you've got some moonstone, you've got some clear quartz, you've got crackle quartz, lemon quartz you've got in here. You've got almost these apatite tones running through there as well, haven't you? Aren't they beautiful? Now we're going to be seeing how to use these in some of our pieces, but there's so many in here. Huge carat weight on this. On the scoop itself, it's so much in here. What made you put the scoop in?
Well, again, I've used that in the other half of the chainmail design, but these particular gemstones are perfect for if anybody wanted to do something like the Byzantine weave and put the gemstones along. The size of gemstones and the clarity of the gemstones are so beautiful and so pretty. They just go hand in hand with chainmail jewellery.
Yes.
They are just beautiful, even to use as little charms on your bracelets, and they're just perfect size. They really are.
Stunning. Really beautiful. 380 carats worth you're getting in this scoop. Going to be a beautiful mix in there. So, shall we reiterate? You have got a really high-end deluxe gemstone scoop. That means that they're the gems that are really beautiful, high quality, and we've put them all together in one place in your deluxe gem scoop. As well as that, you've got your 260 carats worth of your agate rice beads. You've got your massive findings pack with so many treats in there. You've got your jump rings, 200 in total, ID of 4.1 in one set and 6.7 in another. And you've also got your chain nose pliers as well. Now, it's a great way to get yourself started. It's a great way to stock up. Let's get your pricing, shall we? £27.95. Over £40 worth you've actually got here. Way over £40 worth. Giving you a designer inspiration discount today to make it just £27.95. And when you get your hands on this, you've got all the stuff you need to get started on creating some of the beautiful pieces we're going to be seeing in mere moments. You're making such a massive saving, almost £20 worth in saving you've got on this today. NYGC 15, it's £27.95 for all of these goodies today. You've got so many findings in here that you can use for everything. The gemstones themselves will go on for miles and miles. And the chain nose pliers, you've got them forever. You've got them as much as you need them. And honestly, if you haven't used chain nose pliers before, I think you'll be quite amazed at the difference in them, especially with this specifically designed precision point that they have at the end. So simple to use. And when you see Debbie's designs, you too are going to fall in love. I have got for you treats galore in this, haven't we, realistically?
We have, yes.
What made you put all this together?
Well, I think it was the viewer that phoned in last time and asked for the foxtail or full Persian, as I found out.
It was, yeah.
That was my first step to say, right, let's find out exactly how it works, because I'd done it ages ago, but you forget things when you don't do it all the time.
Yeah.
So I looked into it and I made the bracelet, and then I did the half Persian as before. And then when I came to do the bundle, I thought, well, as I say, you can't just have a findings pack and a couple of packs of rings. What else going to put in? Because what else would you buy? So I thought, right, I'll put some pliers in because they're fabulous. I use those at home. And then I thought, no, gemstones, definitely gemstones. So being a bit naughty, really.
That's where it came from. So we're going to have a little look at this weave, aren't we now?
We are
indeed. Beautiful, that we've created these two lovely bracelets with. It's the Persian and the half Persian. And we are going to be doing, as usual, the very precise shower curtain demonstration.
Absolutely.
Alongside your 3D pictures they'll be coming up for you as well. So where are we starting off with this?
Right, we're starting off first of all with this particular bracelet. This is called a full Persian bracelet. Full Persian weave. Okay.
That's so beautiful.
There you go. It looks like a rope effect. Really, really pretty. Yeah, and it matches the colour of the findings perfectly. Absolutely perfectly.
So out of the kit, you use the ID of 6.7, the largest jump rings.
I did, yes. Right, you start off exactly the same as you do with the Byzantine. In my 3D pictures, you'll see that I've put 4 rings. I've actually put 6 rings here because it's easier. You've got something to hold on to. The first 2 rings you can take off at the end, but it's something to hold on to. So I do as normal. Take 6 rings. Whoops. I'll take 2 rings first of all, and I put through a piece of wire which is like your extra hand to hold on to them. So there's your 2 rings. You put 2 rings through there, and then 2 rings through again. So you end up with 3 lots of 2 rings.
So
okay, all in pairs. Okay, so that's number 1 ring, number 2 set of ring, and number 3.
Yep.
Hold your number 1. Let the number 3 flop open, pull the number 2 apart, and then you can use something like a cocktail stick or a reamer. Let me just grab it out of my pot and push that through and pull it up. Okay.
Yep.
Now if Ryan, if you've got the first set of pictures, that's where we've got to. You see?
Yeah.
So from the left you've got 2 rings. Now the red ring at the bottom is my extra 2 set of rings. You know what I mean? That's for me to hold on to, because it's fiddly otherwise trying to hold on to a tiny ring.
Okay.
The second set you let the ones flop down either side, open up, and then pull up the centre rings. So that's where I've got to so far. Yeah. Exactly the same as Byzantine. Okay. So then I take my next lot of shower curtain rings. Very, very intricate. And put 1 ring through and a second ring through on the pair of rings you've just pulled up. So there you go. These are the rings that I had linked onto my cocktail stick, and I've put 2 rings through.
I see.
This is where it starts to change from Byzantine to the next weave. Now I'm going to turn it on its side, and here you will see a pattern. The reason it's called a foxtail is that you have a fan. If I get the bracelet itself, it's supposed to look like a foxtail. Can you see that going up there?
Yeah, I see it fans.
Yeah, it fans out. Okay. So if I put that back onto the stand a second, here is your most important part of your design. Are these two rings here, there and there, that make the fan.
I see.
So your next set of rings, I need to put a ring through those. So put one through. With shower curtains, it's not always the easiest thing to do. Second one. These are a bit thick because we only get one size of shower curtain. You get different internal diameters.
Very true.
Funnily enough.
Very true.
So
maybe there's business in that for you, though.
Do you know, that's a good idea. So there it's going through your two foxtail fans, okay?
Yeah.
Then this ring needs to go underneath these two.
Okay.
All right. So take your ring and just pass it through. Have I just broken a ring? No.
No.
Pass it through underneath.
I
see that?
Yeah.
That ring's come off. That has broken. See, they're not strong enough, really. So these are two foxtails here. So my ring has gone through and underneath and through the two rings here. Now these are too small. I can't get them through the opposite side because, as you've seen, it's just broken a ring. So it's not big enough. So I have to move to my little metal rings now.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Put that to one side. So here is where I've got to. I've got that underneath, that underneath. Let me just sort this out a minute.
Oh, and
yes.
let you know I've still got stock on this at the moment, £27.95, but you need to get your hands on it as soon as you can. And we're using the larger jump rings on this one.
Yeah, I'm using rings I've had for ages at home actually that are far bigger, so it's easier for you to see.
Yeah.
These aren't the ones that are in the kit. I've used two different colours as well so you can see it better. So this is where I've got to. Here are my rings that have gone over the top, and the rings on the side have gone through. So now for my next stage I need to open those middle ones up and put on. Actually, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put on this ring. I'm sorry.
Oh, your jump ring opener.
I know.
It's my
can't.
favourite.
Do you know I cannot do this without that now. I just can't do it. Just pull that down. Let it fall properly. Why isn't that falling properly? Going through the wrong ones.
It's quite good with chainmail as well, because if it does start to muddle up, you can see it straight away, and often it just takes a quick shake, doesn't it?
It does actually, yeah, but for some reason that is
Redo.
not through the right rings. Why is that not through the right? Do you know something? I'm going to start again.
I'll tell you why, because something always has to go wrong. So that's why it's not. It was probably fine before. I'm going to
start right from scratch, but with these rings.
Do that. Reiterate to you that I've got 200 jump rings in this bundle. You've also got the Deluxe gem scoop, which you'll see how beautifully these Deluxe gems work. We're going to be having a little look at how to create this design very, very shortly. But these are from the Deluxe gem scoop on this beautiful piece here. You've also got that massive strand of rice beads, and you're getting the findings pack, including the chain nose.
That's all I've got left over, see, I haven't just touched any of those at all.
The lovely thing is these are the aluminium jump rings, so they are so lightweight, and although that piece you've just looked at looks really bejeweled and very heavy, it's so lightweight and really wearable.
It is,
isn't it?
It is. Oh
really
gosh,
wearable.
yes, absolutely. Right, start again.
Okay.
So, started off with, in fact, probably a good idea to recap, to be honest. So started off with 1, 2, and you can use my ring thing to close it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right, starting off with your
putting
sixth.
it in the pairs again.
Putting it into the pairs again. Okay. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep.
Okay. So let's recap. Holding your number 1, letting the third ones open, opening your middle ones and pushing up, which is where we got to on the pictures.
Yep.
Okay. Now you need to put 2 rings through there. So I'm going to put through 2 red ones as 1, like so, and a second one. So then you've got to where we were originally, okay? 1, 2, there. to there, it's the same as Byzantine. Then we turn it on its side, and there you've got your 2 foxtails here.
I can see kicking out.
Okay, I'll take my ring, and I'm going to go underneath the foxtails. Might be easier to do it overhead, I'm not sure whether you can get that close actually. Can you see that, or is it better to do? It's difficult really.
That's okay, yeah.
Yeah, so through the 2 rings, and under
the ones
above. Okay, so if I hold that now with my pliers, you've done one really side. Clear. Now I need to put one on the other side. So I'm going to hold that in my fingers, take my gold ring, open it up a bit more, through my foxtails, through the V's, and through the ones above, making sure that you don't cross them over.
And it is one of those as well, once you get it home and you start to have a go, although it might look intricate, you get into such a rhythm of it.
You do actually. This is one of the easiest ones I think I've done, bar Byzantine.
Yeah.
It's quite easy to do. Then where'd you go? Okay, so hold your design and you open those 2 red rings. Open the 2 rings that you've just gotten inside of. All right? And you put 2 more. So I'm putting 1 red ring to part underneath and through the gold ones below. You'll see some pictures in a minute and it will all come clear. So that's 1.
Yeah.
Okay. And then a second one, like so. Hold that up.
You can see that foxtail coming into its own.
You can.
Now.
Then you do exactly the same. Hold it on its side, so then you've got this V shape starting to come up the side, and then I've done this in 2 different colours, so it's easier to see. So then go through your foxtail, like so, and through underneath the ones above. Turn it over and repeat. And repeat. It's really quite simple to do once you get into the hang of it. So through the V below and through underneath the ones above and close it up.
And you can see how quickly that builds up.
Yeah, see that?
Wow. Beautiful.
All right, and then obviously you part those again, put 2 more on, and then and the first bit is different.
Yeah.
But once you get into the throw of it, into the weave of it, there's the pictures, and I'll put these pictures onto Facebook when I get home, and it shows you how to put the rings through. And I hope it's clearer than me sitting doing it here. But you can see where the ring goes through the V at the bottom, and the second picture in the middle one.
Yeah.
So it goes through the green rings and then up through the navy blue ones. The purple one goes through. So I hope that's going to be simpler for you to understand.
That is beautiful.
All right, so I'll put that on Facebook when I get home. So that is your full Persian.
To create this really intricate look.
Yep. Half Persian is a lot more complicated.
Oh no.
It's
Even though it sounds like it should be easier.
Yeah.
Sounds like it should be literally half the work.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, I tried to do a 3D image of this and gave up in the end. But there are some tips that you can do. Right, I need a paper clip or something, piece of wire. Just clip a piece of wire off. Right, this is fabulous for putting down the edge of things, and I think somebody phoned in last time when I'd done my 4-in-1, European 4-in-1, asked me if I could do an edging. Do you remember?
I do remember.
And this is the weave. This is called a half Persian weave, and I've done it in 2 different colours so you can see the design. And it sort of looks different on one side, obviously, to the other. It's really quite pretty, okay? Done with exactly the same size rings. And a tip for this is always start off with a piece of card.
Okay.
You can't hold 4 jump rings in your hand all at once.
No.
Obviously. And that's what you have to start off with.
Okay, good
so
tips.
I would get a piece of card and I would just use, I just used a bodkin needle and just put through some holes, just 4 holes, and then put 4 jump rings through.
Brilliant.
Okay, so that's easier for you to hold than try and hold 4 jump rings.
Really good tip.
All right. So There is a pattern to this, and it took me a while to pick up the pattern up, but this is the pattern. You need to go, which way is it easiest to read? That way round. You need to hold your rings, and you go front to back through the first ones.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you miss the first ones and go through the third and fourth. Hold on a minute, if I do that. So you end up with a ring that looks like that.
I get you. Yeah.
All right, so you miss two and go through two.
Yeah, I see.
All right, so it's a bit of a tricky one to get. Once you get the pattern, it's quite easy. It comes quite naturally.
Good.
It's appearing at me. Looking on the camera. So let's try and see if I can show you how to do this. Again, it's a bit tricky to show you on here, but we'll have a go. And I will try my best to try and do some pictures again. So, here are my 4 rings, like so. I'm going to go through the front of the 2, okay. I'm going to turn my piece of card, and I'm going to come from the back through 3 and 4.
Yep, I
yeah?
see.
Got that? Shall I take that out and do it again?
Yeah.
Right, so there's your 4 rings. I'm going to go front to back with my first 2.
Yeah.
Turn the card round, make sure your rings are towards you, and go through the back.
Both. Brilliant.
All
Got
right,
that really well,
of the third and fourth. The good thing with a piece of card is you can bend it, and when you get past it, you can just tear it and take it off.
Fab.
So there you've got the pattern on the top again.
Yeah, I see.
All right, so let's take another one. You take another green ring. This isn't green ring. This is the ring that goes in the middle, and you need a closed purpley one, if those are the 2 colours that you're doing. So you scoop up your purple, like so, all right, and you go in front of the green one because you want them to lie in front of each other.
Yes.
So push the green out the way. You go through the second and the third this time because you missed the first. Whoop!
Yep.
Oh dear, hold on a minute.
Oh.
Oh, I say.
Oh, I say. That's why they're called jump rings.
Very good. So, we should be a comedian too. Anyway, you go through the second and the third in front. This is the tricky bit, okay? In front, and you have to go through the back of the third. Now this is where it gets tricky. Go through the back of the third. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then go through the front, and then twist twist the back of it. That's it, through there.
I see.
It's a bit tricky. It's twisted around. Go through. You have to really bend the card to make it go through. I'm going to take that purple one off. Do you know, it's really, really getting on my nerves, that purple one. How silly is that? Right, okay, start again. So, back through 2 and 3. And then back, that's it. Go through 2 and 3, and then through the back of the third. Back of the third. There we go.
I see.
Do you know I did this so easy at home? And
it's
then close.
hard to get the angles on camera and everything, isn't it? It's easier at home.
It is, it is. Now I'm going to do that one more time because that was a bit of a mess. That was. Close that up. Right, take the green one again.
Jump.
Do you know? Do you know? I don't know.
Do you know?
Do you know?
They need a talking to, don't they?
They do need a real talking to.
Sit on the naughty step.
Right, again, I'm going to go in on top of the green ones, and I'm going to go through 3 and 4 this time, and then back through the 2 rings which are now hanging.
The loose ones, they're
the
really
loose
obvious,
ones,
aren't they?
Yeah, I'm going to go back through the 1, and then put on number 2, change sides of jump rings. I will try my best to do this in 3D when I get home.
No problem.
But you probably can't see. Can you see how it's starting?
Yes, I can see it builds up.
Builds up and builds up. So you go through 2, the front of 2 and the back of 1, and you keep going in front of each ring every time. I will do pictures for you when I get home.
Okay. That's
I'll
your
try
homework.
my best. That's my homework. Trying my best. It isn't an easy one to demonstrate, I'm afraid.
But how is it once you have a go of it?
It's fine once you get the hang of it. Once actually you get off the card, it's a lot easier.
Yes.
You know, once you get off the card, but you can't hold 4 jump rings in your fingers at once. There's no way you can do this unless you've got something to tag it onto.
Yeah, of course.
But it's something you have to sort of be close to. It'd be okay in the workshop because people could see it really close.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to do it like this. But I will do pictures when I get.
Thank you very much for showing us that. I'm a bit flustered. I've got some message for you. It's from Julie. It says, afternoon ladies, thank you Debbie for showing the foxtail I asked about. You explain things so clearly. I think even I could manage to do it.
Perhaps not that
well
one,
done,
anyway.
Julie.
Yes.
Thank you very much for messaging us in. And also I've had another quick one. This is from Kate saying, how many jump rings do these weaves use? Good question, Kate.
Right, now, I knew somebody was going to ask me that, so I've written it in my little book.
Oh, well done.
For the full Persian, you need a 7 internal diameter ring, and I used 124.
124
124
to create this piece.
To create that piece.
Beautiful.
Okay, and the half Persian, I used, again, a 7 internal diameter, and I used 80.
Brilliant, so you need less of that one then, don't you?
You do. You need 18 inches per inch for this, and 18 rings per inch for that, and 14 for the other one.
Very good. Thank you, Katie, for asking that question. Just want to reiterate exactly to you what we have in the bundle, because as you'll see, we've got so much left over.
Oh, gosh, yes.
You had a fabulous findings pack stashed full of goodies with a massively complementary colour to the beautiful golden jump rings. 200 jump rings you had in total, 100 of your ID 4.1 and 100 of your ID 6.7. You had those beautiful rice beads as well, 260 carats worth in there. Of the scoop, you had a massive 380 carats worth in that deluxe high quality gem selection. And luckily you got those wonderful chain nose pliers as well, and you'll be able to see exactly what I mean with this beautiful piece. Look how perfectly the colour matches from the findings to the jump rings. Exceptional. Debbie, thank you so much for showing us that. We'll be back to see your bezel idea and your beading caps in a very short while. But before all of that, and after this very short break, I have got some luxury for less, and I think there'll be a few cheeky deals in there for you as well. Thank you so much for showing us that, Debbie.
Pleasure.
Do keep sending in your messages as much as you want. It's jewellerymaker.com. You can send it in. We'll try and answer. She loves being put on the spot.
Yeah.
So it's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Join us after this break for some seriously luxury for less. I will see you after this.
There are 2 easy ways to purchase from Jewellery Maker. You can watch our show on Sky, Virgin, Freeview or FreeSat, and call our free phone number where you'll be put through to our friendly help team who can place your order. Alternatively, you can go to our website and click the sign up button. Once you have filled in the required details, you can start shopping. You can watch the show by clicking the On Air Now button on the front page. You can also use our quick search tool and narrow down your results. Once you have found an item that you like, you simply click on the Buy Now button and the item will be added to your basket. Don't forget that you can add as many items to your basket per day for only 1 P&P. Enjoy shopping with Jewellery Maker.
You can now keep in touch by liking Jewellery Maker UK on Facebook. Get interactive with Jewellery Maker.
Welcome back to Designer Inspiration. Thank you for joining me. My name is Becky and it is officially our third part of the chainmail with the wonderful Debbie B. How's it going, Debbie B?
Fine, I love it, I love it, I love it. I love chainmail. I can lose days doing chainmail.
Could you?
I could sit there and just lose myself. I love it.
I'm like that with The Sims, but not the point. I have got coming up for you in a little bit, coming up very, very soon. It is your large deluxe wire coiling gizmo. This is the one we've just shown you how to use it, but we'll talk you through it even more later on. This is going to be perfect. It's back in stock. You've been waiting, you've been hounding, you've been messaging in. We listened, it's coming very soon. And also, a bit of a jig for you. The wonderful deluxe metal jig is coming back. Another back in the building. We are treating you today. I'm so excited. We'll have a little look exactly how to work with this. But it is now luxury for less. And I have got some serious luxury in front of me. And it's definitely for less. Take a little look at this beautiful strand of your white moonstone. 115 carats worth of this graduated plain slabs. Now the shape of these are so beautiful. I can completely see a Byzantine in between each of these.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Aren't they stunning?
They are just gorgeous.
And they're so beautifully delicate looking as well. It's 22 centimetre strand on here, graduation from 7x3 all the way to 20x6. I want to get as many products in this luxury for less as I can, so let's just whack your price in, shall we? £8.95. This is serious luxury for less, isn't it? This beautiful shape which would work so gorgeously. Even if you're not going to use it for the chainmail, what about just this with the graduation against the neckline, restrand, maybe even a few pearls later? Do I have a few pearls for you? 1 or 2, maybe even 3 strands coming up in a little bit. £8.95 for this beautiful selection here today. Imagine this mixed with some of those beautiful strong gold colours we got in that kit earlier on. I think would make it just so warm to wear. £8.95 is your price. PYRU47 is your price today. This is such a beautiful, seductively sparkly strand of pink amethyst in your step cut drops. Now amethyst has got such a beautiful, delicate tone. We very rarely do step faceting, don't we? On the amethyst especially, but we have done on these, and I think a lot of the reason behind that is so you can just get this real pink hue. Now what I would say is possibly to you on screen, I don't know if you'll agree, this is looking a little bit lavender lilac-y, but to eye it has got a more pinky red like tone in it. 85 carats worth of this. February's a birthstone, but with a little bit of a twist, a little bit of a girly pink hint to it. These are 10x6 all the way to 14x7 mil. They're seriously sparkly, they're delightfully delicate, and the price is devilish. £12.95 on these today. You've got to take a look at these against the skin. It just looks so stunning. Imagine this in bridal jewellery. Imagine this even just draped from a bouquet. Imagine this as favours perhaps for your bridesmaids and groomsmen even. £12.95 is the price for this today. It has such a sparkly kick element to it. What would you think of doing with these, Debbie B?
I would probably restrand that and just put a tiny little either a silver bead between, or perhaps, I wonder, you know, if you could almost do, you know, the bead loom?
Yeah.
I wonder, can you bead loom with wire? Does anybody know if you can use wire rather
yeah,
than
you
cord?
can do. Yeah, you can.
I would like to put some tiny amethyst, tiny seed beads, and then have a cluster of those in the centre of a bracelet sticking up.
Debbie B, I am on board with that, definitely. £12.95. Give that a go. Get it on the wall of fame, please, because they are stunning. I have got some ridiculously high quality Labradorite on this. Have a look.
Wow.
I know.
That is amazing. From over here, that is...
Now, have a little look at the screen, Debbie B.
It just doesn't look the same from over here.
No. The amount of shiller. Now the lights in the studio here, they're great for showing you really close up gemstones, but specifically the sheen doesn't show off that well under these lights. But have a look on this VT. That's exactly what I'm getting. Not only have you got that beautiful Aurora Borealis shiller, but look at the internal glitter as well. Can you see this glittery light tone?
They look like they're coated.
They almost do, don't they? They're not at all.
I know they're not, and they're not. But you know
look.
that coating that you get, you know, just stunning, stunning.
It's been voted your favourite 2 years running, and genuinely, I imagine it's because our quality of Labradorite is just going up time after time. 130 carats worth. If you haven't bought Labradorite from us in a while, or even if you're just in love, tell me. This is the strand to get your hands on. DNN V27. Let's get your pricing on this. Wow. Luxury for less. If that had a 1 in front of it, I would still want to get this. How about you?
£9.95?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think the face says it all, doesn't it, really?
Oh, that is gorgeous. I went to a craft centre a couple of weeks ago, and they had a Labradorite, just a pendant, similar with the bead cap, you know, I'm doing, but a sterling silver bead cap, and that was like £50–60 on a chain. It just, well, you could definitely charge that.
The prices we do and the quality we
Amazing.
do on this is exceptional. Imagine doing the full Persian with a single one of these in the middle.
Oh, yes.
How stunning would that be? And if you're making your own jump rings, what about a bit of blue wire? Just to really highlight that shiller. And actually, because it's got the gold in there too, even that gold's going to be really
Would
powerful.
look beautiful. Beautiful.
Isn't it? £9.95. I'm squeezing more in. You want to get your hands on this. I can see plenty of you multi-buying on this strand as well. It's so stunning. You really want to own it whilst you can, because it's so beautiful and pretty to get your hands on. In fact, would go superbly with my next strand, because I've got Iolite coming up here. Doesn't it just make that blue bounce, this blue gleam, this blue shiller? Look at that. How beautifully does that go together? This is your Iolite, and this is such a stunning drop effect we have on here, all faceted to perfection. Now, Iolite actually comes from the word meaning velvet flower, and this, I've got for you a little something special. I've got something a little bit naughty on this for you. Now, we discussed this upstairs earlier, myself and my gorgeous, ridiculously talented producer Kirsty. We're having a little chat about this upstairs, and we said, wonder if we could go any lower on this. We decided we probably couldn't. But you know what? There was no managers around, so we just have 60 carats worth of your Iolite faceted pairs. Current web price £9.95 for Iolite, which is one of the most sought after gemstones, and relatively new gemstone to us here, isn't it, as well? But also, we don't see it that often. Wait until you see. Is this a trust one? This is a trust one, I think. Get yourself on the phone. £9.95 should be your price today. No! We're going to get in so much trouble. If you are new to us, £9.95, sometimes we have this weird glitch. I don't know if you've seen Wreck-It Ralph. You know Wreck-It Ralph, they've got that little glitch. The Penelope, we've got her in the system at the moment, right? £9.95, if we roll it down and it says £9.95, the only thing we can do is take off another £1 off it. Honestly, it's the only thing we can do. £9.95 the price should be, with the glitch today. Penelope's done it for a £5.95. You need to take this opportunity up right now. We were going to do it for £6.95. That was really naughty. We got a Penelope glitching, £5.95. Get it whilst you can, because at that price it might be Kirsty's last show with us. 60 carats worth of this Iolite. It's stunning, it's beautiful, it's got this gorgeous almost denim tone running through it, and you really want to treat this inky indigo. There are so many people purchasing this, I cannot even tell you. £5.95. It's ridiculously low. Oh my goodness. Okay, quite a few of you are taking advantage of this deal. I think it's safe to say, honestly, you've got yourself a bargain. Pretty much giving it away, actually, at that price. £5.95. There's loads of you with it in your baskets. Trust me, check out CBRU48, but for safety reasons I think it's important we move on. £5.95 for you on that one today. It's a stunning strand. Treat yourself whilst you can. I've got another beautiful shape. If you got that moonstone earlier on, how about pairing it with this? This is probably one of my favourite sounding strands. I know, weird to say, right? This is your golden colour-coated onyx plain slabs, and these are 135 carats. They make such a gorgeous, beautiful sound when you're wearing them, when they jingle together. Listen, listen. Oh, I've just pulled it away. Listen. Oh. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness, Debbie.
Yes, sir.
X Factor next year. Me on the Onyx, you on the saw blade.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, love it. It's sorted.
I had to think of a name.
Jewellery Maker's Got Talent.
Or not.
Or not. Speak for yourself, Debbie. I'm quite good on the Onyx. 135 carats. It's got this beautiful coating to it. Again, this mixed metal, £7.95. The mixed metallics are so in.
Kirsty, I want one, and I want a moonstone as well. I want one.
I want one. You'd be lucky, tell you what, because they're flying out today. We're having a busy day, I'll let you know that for nothing. Now, these are so beautiful because of their sizes and because of the colour. I can so imagine these. It's massive right now. Steampunk.
I just think it's really contemporary. I think it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I just love it and want it.
I love it and want it.
I want it.
We'll have to see, Debbie, because they are going out really fast. £7.95. It's such a beautiful, and again against the neckline. Oh my goodness, I've just turned from Becky from Chester into Cleopatra from the desert. Haven't I?
See that put onto a collar. You know, like I showed you a collar. Put on the front. Oh, on a black collar. Very nice.
Oh my goodness. Debbie B is whipping myself and Kirsty up a black leather collar. Oh my goodness. And these adorned on there are going to be so spectacular. £7.95 on this for you today. 135 carats worth of your beautiful gold colour coated onyx. Speaking of gold, speaking of luxury, have a look at this beautiful, really powerful and zesty strand of your ever so gorgeous citrine. This is powerful, this is impactful, isn't it? Now, the name citrine comes from the word meaning lemon, citron, in French. You couldn't tell from the accent I just put on. 150 carats worth. These are your citrine graduated faceted large cubes. Now, it's known as the gem of happiness, isn't it? And for women, it's meant to make you happy, and for men, it's meant to dispel anger. So, if your other half's maybe having a bit of a bad day, throw a few of these at them, put a smile right on their face. Bit of citrine. Don't like throw us in, lob it at them. I mean, because that would really upset them. Hand it to them politely. And this is said to make them feel very happy. And it's really beautiful as well because it actually used to in the past, before sort of science took over, it actually used to get compared to and confused with topaz. all the time. And you can see why, can't you? The internal structure of it itself is very similar, but you've got these gorgeous strong tones which are very likeness to the wonderful topaz as well. Now, it's a 22 centimeter strand. This is eye clear. The faceting is ridiculously exceptional and the powerful pop is intense. You've got whiskey running through this. How about bringing you a price in on this? Very special. £11.95, and it's from Brazil, the #1 location to get your citrine from. It is the location with so much name and so much prestige behind it. If you've been lucky enough to get your hands on the amber we've had on recently, pairing this with it will be just so spectacular. If you are a bit worried to work with the faceted nuggets, think initially of just working with them one at a time and then perhaps develop using 3 or maybe 5 in a piece. These are going to last you a long time and they're all year round glamour for just £11.95 for you today. So beautiful. If you are looking for some really nice pops of colour, realistically this gemstone that I'm bringing to you now does it exceptionally. It is your multicoloured fluorite. You've got running through here these really bright yellow tones. You've got the Rose de France tones running through, teal. You've got really mixing up in here as well. It's beautiful to be able to bring you such a mixture of goodies in here. Now, of course, it's well known because it is a gemstone that used to be mined in England, used to be mined in Derbyshire, and it was known as the ore flower by the local miners because of these mixture of tones. In fact, a lot of them believed that it was one of the most colourful minerals in the world. It's what they believed at that time. And sometimes you just get captivated by individual ones. Just really take a look and see what you're getting with these. The different banding. It's one of those gemstones that for me, when I'm making jewellery and when I'm working with gemstones, I look for fluidity and I look for something that every time I re-look at that gemstone, it offers me something new, surprises me. It gives me something different that I didn't maybe expect to see every time I look at it. And trust me, you get that in abundance with this beautiful fluorite strand. 120 carats, let's get your price in on these long drops. £14.95. If you are interested in things like feng shui and perhaps getting a bit of an oriental fluidity feeling on your pieces, then this is going to be the strand for you to have a go with. £14.95. Get it whilst you can, please. AQRU20. It's a stunning strand and it's so much fun. I want to let you know that after a break, I'm going to be bringing the Gizmo to you. But right now, it's back in the building, it's back in stock. It is our wonderful metal jig. This is your deluxe metal jig that I'm getting out for you now. Now, in here, if you haven't worked with a jig before, do not worry. It's so simple to use. In here, you're going to be getting the metal block, which is your main base that we have on here. Really sturdy. You've got the little feet on it, which means that not only does it take it above your surface, but also if you have got movement there, it's not going to scratch. Very simply place it on your surface, and what you're going to be getting is all of these little different shapes, almost bolts that we've got. You can place these into any way, any position you wish. Now I know some people have bought this in the past and wonder what these little plastic sections are for. All you have to do is pop them underneath, twist them on, and it will just hold these in place. Now from here you can create any designs you want using these different bolts, and you can wire twist around them. You can make stunning links with this that are symmetrical. You can create with this as well. Maybe you have your own little pattern, your own little design that is almost your little logo, essentially, that you can put on your own pieces. What do you like to use this for, Debbie B?
It's nice because you can get uniform shapes. Sometimes with your pliers you can do 2 or 3 hold loops, you know, to make a connector.
Yeah.
And perhaps one loop always doesn't look right, or then you make 2 or 3 and they don't all match. Whereas that's the ideal thing for this, is to make a number of matching loops and designs, because you know every single one is going to look identical.
Everything is beautifully uniformed, and it even has in there a few ideas for you on how to create some connectors for your pieces, and it shows you how to lay them out. But also on the back of here you'll be able to see all of these spots where you're actually able to create your own design. So if you do have a logo, you can map it out on here so that every single time you can use it in exactly the same way. It's something that is going to last and last. There's nothing to go wrong with this. It's sturdy, it's strong, and it's professional level. Let me get your pricing on this. It's back in the building. £9.95 on this stunning piece for you today. If you want to create these really high-end looks, because let's face it, I believe anyway that sometimes symmetry is the difference between a piece looking good and a piece looking a bit naff, a bit not quite perfection professional. If you have symmetry purposely running all the way around and then there's just one loop that's a little bit kinks off slightly wrong, it can bring the whole piece down, can't it? Of course, if you don't want symmetry on your piece, then great, but if there's loads of loops the same and just one slightly twisted, for me, your eye gets drawn to it every time, that one that's slightly wrong. You're not having that problem with this. Create your own loops, create your own pieces. I have got so many people purchasing this online. Thank you very much getting this. Lynn, Maureen, Deborah as well, you've got yourself one. Tawny, Tracy, Mary, Lou, you've got yourself some. Elizabeth, I've got a few of you getting your hands on this. Do check out your baskets. If perhaps you are getting into wire work, or perhaps you want to give it a go, but maybe you've got dexterity problems and working with the round nose pliers and things can be a little bit fiddly, can't it? With this, you're not going to have as much of a problem. It's going to give you these really beautiful professional looks with gorgeous loops that carry on in symmetry, but it's really easy to use. You can create so many huge dynamic effects with these, and do you know what? Even if you want to use these to hammer onto, you could. You can use these. Perhaps you've got a little bit of a small disc, or even just maybe jump rings that you want to flatten out. You can use that on here. What about working with it as a spiral? You can work with this as well. Oh my goodness, think of this. Use your wire twister tool, or just twist up 2 different coloured wire and then loop it around here, create something really intricate. You could almost do a Celtic knot type of design on this, couldn't you? Coming up for springtime, you could do yourself some butterfly shapes, couldn't you? So if I was to do a butterfly shape, I might do these ones up here equally as a wing, and then maybe some of the smaller wings down here. And then maybe if I line these up alternate like so, you could actually wire wrap the body in between here, couldn't you? Big, and then wire wrap center, you could do that. There is so much online, so many ideas for you to create online. It really is very special. And don't forget too, you can inlay and inset gemstones with this too, because say you do a graduation technique similar to this one, how about in between, as you're going to go around one of them, you actually just add a gemstone in here before you loop it. Add another gemstone, thread it onto the wire. So you don't just think of this as just creating wire shapes. You can add beautiful gemstones into here as well. What about wire work pair of earrings? Are you like me? And if you try and do a pair of earrings, sometimes you can't quite get the perfect pair, can you? But you can with this one. Now, Debbie, I know that, you know, you have so many skills and so many talents, but you even say yourself, wire work's probably not the big one for you.
No.
But can you create looks on this?
Yes, you can, because I think it's your helping hand again. I think it's the fact that every time you do it, it's going to look exactly the same. And it's not like the plastic one where I get very frustrated because the plastic bits keep coming out. With this, that doesn't happen. And as I said earlier, I'm quite heavy-handed, so this will take quite a bit of pulling with the wire. And I like the fact you've got the larger discs, because in the other one you've just got like little ones, little plastic dibs to put in, whereas this you've got lots of different sizes.
Sturdy.
And it does help you, even if you're doing something like a loosey cuff, which is Laura Binding's sort of cuff, it helps you to get the swirls that then go round the edge of the cuff. Do you know what I mean? You can swirl them and then put your cage through the swirls. Of the cuff, rather than do it the other way around. I find that really difficult. So yes, it's perfect. And I think you know so much about it that you ought to sort of do another challenge sometime. I should work on it.
Oh my goodness, Debbie B, I am on board with that. You have got the little plastic dibs which go on the back to keep this in place. There's so much strength there behind it that you can actually, with this one, be quite vigorous.
You can.
And quite strong with your wire, can't you?
You can. Oh, you can, yes.
It's really great for thicker gauge as well. What about your, oh my goodness, I've got to admit, I've got 1.5 wire at home and I've done a little bit of structural with it, but actually creating loops on it, personally at the moment I find it quite tricky. But with this, I can yank it, I can pull it.
That's a good point, because you could do, senses are going now, you and me. We could do lots of different loops and then hammer them in copper wire or something, and that would look fabulous.
Stunning. Really beautiful.
You could do things like music notes, like treble clefs and things.
And notes. I think that's a fab idea.
Or hearts or something.
Oh my goodness, you could make a guitar out of this, I've decided, because if you limp, or a cello, I used to play the cello, you can limp these up, can't you? And then maybe use the smaller ones in a line, and you could actually create that shape, couldn't you?
Could.
Such a fab idea. And if you want to do maybe, because I know Alison does that gorgeous instrument set, doesn't she, the 3D design, but what about a 2D design, so it's flattened, and actually you could make quite masculine pieces then, couldn't you, especially if you hammered it and gave it a little bit of texture. I have got almost half of my stock gone on this completely. It is back in stock and it's almost gone. If you've got it online, honestly, I cannot encourage you enough to check this out. Almost half my stock already gone. I have got the Deluxe Gizmo back in the building. It's coming up right after the break, and also we're going to be heading over back to Debbie B herself for some more inspirational designs. See you after the very short break, and tell you what, get ready for some serious inspiration. See you then.
Add a mystery gift to your order today and you'll receive a surprise full of fantastic treats and goodies with a huge saving guaranteed. Check out our online reviews from jewellery maker customers who have previously purchased one of these mystery gifts. Go on, treat yourself with a little gift.
Join jewellery maker and specialist guest designer Debbie Bulford for a fun and relaxing day discovering the addictive appeal of chainmail. This workshop is ideal for beginners and will introduce the fundamentals of this art form. You will be guided through a range of beginners' weaves and learn how to create your own Byzantine bracelet and earring set. The full course includes a pack of 200 jump rings, a toggle clasp, a pair of shepherd hook earrings, the chainmail tutorial DVD, use of all relevant tools, a buffet style lunch and refreshments, a tour of the studio and a chance to meet the presenters, and take a visit to our gem museum. All this for just $74.95. For more information, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655. Jewellery Maker, bringing out the designer in you.
Jewellery Maker course gift vouchers are now available. You can choose from a bronze, silver or gold voucher. Each voucher is worth a different amount that entitles you to put towards a course of your choice. For more information, contact our call centre on 0800 6444 655.
Welcome all to Designer Inspiration. Did you manage to get your hands on the metal jig? I've got a few handfuls left. You want to pick up the phones now if you need to get your hands on. Back in stock, our stunning Deluxe Gizmo. Now on this Gizmo we showed you earlier on, we've got your attaching clasp, we've got the piece that actually attaches it to your work surface, and you've got your 5 rods in here. Now the rods themselves are different diameters. Now the smallest rod, you have an internal diameter of 1.2 mil, and it goes all the way up to a 5.2. Let's get these goodies out for you, shall we? So this is your largest section. You can see here you've got the clamp just to attach it to your work surface. You've then got the 4 holes here which your rods themselves can go through, and they each have one that they will go through. Simply all we do is you add the wire on here, give it a quick twist, and in mere moments you have yourself some wonderful jump rings to be made, all these gorgeous coils themselves. Now you can create coils like you can see now on these pieces here. That's how you create that beautiful coiled effect. Now not only is it perfectly symmetrical, but also it's such a gorgeous rich look to it. We also saw this used earlier, didn't we, with the Designer Inspiration, how to make up your own jump rings for the chainmail as well. What do you like so much about the Deluxe one in particular, Debbie?
I just think it's easier because it's all there. You don't have to think, oh, where have I got a clamp? You know, what do I do with this? Where do I put the screw through to hold it? And it's just, everything is very, very simple. But for those of you who know Rachel Norris, I would buy 2 or 3 of these. A, because of the good price, but B, if you want to do necklaces of coils, you need a long coil.
Yeah.
So you can get pieces of wire from the DIY place, but then you'll need to clamp 2 or 3 gizmos in a row to put your long piece of metal through to coil. Yeah. So if this is going to a price that I think it's going to, I personally would buy 2 or 3.
And you know what as well, what you've just seen there is a coil being coiled, coil bead it's called. So you can actually double coil a coil already that you've had coiled on this coiler. It's amazing. You can triple coil as well, can't you?
With a heart.
The necklace, the heart necklace. Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, I'll bring that over in a moment for you. That is so pretty. And do you know what? Really regal, this effect. If you were to try and do this by hand, well, your hair would be pulled out. It would be so tricky, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah. The coils are so neat that they are uniform. Again, like on the last little wire tool that we had, it's the fact that it looks, my phrase that I've been saying ever since I came here, it needs to look handmade, not homemade. So you need your handmade jewellery to look uniform and professional, not homemade, something you do with your children. Do you know what I mean?
Completely
so this looks like handmade jewellery you could sell with pride, really, because it all looks identical. I completely agree with that. And it is one of those things, one of those tools, again, that if you're not particularly au fait with wire work, in moments you've got something that looks so intricate. Well, you don't have to make anything quite as intricate as that. You can just make a coil, put it on a piece of memory wire with a stone in the middle. Perfect.
And it's done in moments.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I've already got around 10% of my stock gone. I've not even brought the price in. Let's get it in for you, shall we? Your price today is £7.95. What do you think of that price?
Well, it's a tool that you've got forever. it's not, nothing goes out of date.
No.
That is an extremely good price actually, especially when it's got all the bits with you, because if you look for a good clamp to go on a table, that costs you £4 or £5.
Yeah.
A really good clamp to hold something steady on the table.
Yep.
And all the mandrels, they cost quite a bit actually. If you want to replace the mandrels, they're quite expensive, those pieces of wire, because they can't bend them.
No.
They're substantial, so.
And you get 5 of these different one as well, don't you? The standard wire gizmo that we have that has the 2 rods, and that has the 2 middle ones, doesn't it? So it just has these 2 rods in it. The price on that is £4.95, which is a great price. But on top of that, you're getting 3 extra rods, and you've got the clamp as well on this, with the extra length and the extra holes on there too. It really is just a bit of a no-brainer, to be honest. Maybe you have had a go at the normal gizmo that we have and you like it, but you want to take your piece in a different direction, then this is certainly the way to go. And also, perhaps you got the normal gizmo and you went a bit gizmo crazy, but because everything's kind of the same gizmo thickness, it can look a bit samey sometimes.
It can, yes.
You've got 5 different sizes here with the different combos that you can do. You can open yourself up, can't you? My wonderful producer Kirsty is having a little, well, she's shopping online at the moment. She's having a little nosy around. She's found some £12.95. She's found some for £9.95 as well. Live price comparison for a deluxe, we are currently winning hands down. £7.95 is your price on this today. QGZX 79 is the price. Don't forget, it is weighty, it is metal. It's not going to increase your P&P though. It's only £2.95 until midnight tonight that you'll be paying. It's seriously sturdy, it's totally usable, and it even comes with an instruction manual, which is always handy. And it's not like the instruction manual from that big shop, you know, the one I mean, which actually half the time you can't understand. It's got pictures and everything. Even I can use this. It's brilliant. £7.95. It's back in stock, but I tell you what, 20% of my stock has gone on this already. You need to get yourself on the phone lines for this, because once it's gone, it's gone. QGZX 79, it's yours today for £7.95. And also, if you are doing chain mail as well, we always say your ID is most important, isn't it? ID means your internal diameter. On the box itself, it actually has the internal diameters if you are to use this. So you'll see the smallest rod is 1.25, 1.6, and all the way to 5.2 as well. So it's great that you can keep the box, and I've got to admit, you know what I'm like, trying to pack things up. I'm a nightmare. If I try and get gems back into a bead scoop or anything back into its original box, it's impossible. I'm very much haphazard in the way I put things back. But look, it all goes back in, neat and tidy. You know all your rods are safe in there. You know that you've still got the information on the back with the ID. You know it's all in one place, it's all neat and tidy. And you know what as well? You know that there's nothing on here that's going to fall off. There's nothing on here that's going to just stop working randomly. It is what it is. Once you've got it then for life.
The nice thing about those as well, the larger coil, you can actually put the first and the third and the last one, I think it is, you can put inside each other. So I've seen people do black wire and then silver wire and then gold wire, and they just fed it through. So you get 3 levels of coils, which looks really good.
The limit on this truly is only your own imagination, isn't it? That's the only limit on this. You can do so much you want to do. And if you do want a bit more inspiration, pop online, have a look at our Gizmo DVDs. We've got the Basics DVD for the Gizmo, and we've got 2 Projects DVD. And if you look, the rings and things that you're seeing at the moment, those are the types of things that you'll show how to make on those DVDs. Get it whilst you can, because already approaching half my stock gone, already approaching that now. £7.95. Once it's gone, it's totally gone. I'm going to leave it with you. I've got plenty of stock, So do stay where you are. Do check out your basket on the web, because truly it's going so quickly. I'm bringing to you now, I think it's safe to say, one of the most luxurious chainmail bundles I've ever brought to you as a kit together. It is so delectable. I have got plenty of jump rings in here for you, and yep, serious luxury, all 925. So the jump rings, all 3 are 925. In here you've got your 5mm jump rings, 50 of those. You've also got your 9mm jump rings, and you've got 20 of those. And you've also got the silver, the rose gold, you've got 50 of those, and they're 5mm. So these two that we have here, both 5mm, 50 in each, and the really large ones, the 9mm ones, those are 20 pieces that we have in here. So 120 you're getting of the 925 most luxurious jump rings. We're not stopping there. We're giving you a findings pack as well. Now this findings pack is the silver coloured findings pack, and you're getting in here so much, including but not limited to 1 metre of your chain, all of the goodies you've got now on screen. You've also got your jump rings in there. You've got that beautiful featherweight head pins, they're called, the really fine ones that go beautifully through every gemstone really, even your pearls. There's so many goodies that you can see on screen. I've also got for you here something that I think are so pretty. Where did you find these, Debbie B?
Just on the reports that we have for ages, but I've been finding, I wanted to find something that was really delicate to match with the rose gold, and I just thought, you know, it's nice to have a kit with, okay, it's got the other findings in as well, but with some lovely sterling silver rose gold bead caps. I think they are so delicate, beautiful.
They're so delicate, around 6mm these are. It is 925, it is your rose gold. 5 of these you're getting. When you see how well these slip into the designs, you're going to be blown away. They're just these little caps, and they're great for bead caps, but also you can actually put them back to back and create this beautiful 925 bicone essentially. 5 of those you're going to be getting as well, and you've got the beautiful gemstone strand as well. This smoky quartz is so beautiful, stunning. And when it comes to smoky quartz, what we're looking for is a serious depth and symmetry of smoke, and I think you'll agree that this has most certainly got it in abundance. So let's reiterate, you have got this gorgeous strand of your smoky quartz in these faceted puffy circles. You've also got your findings pack, your caps. You've got 120 in total of your jump rings, 100 of the 925 with the 50 piece 5mm each, and then 20 of your 9mm. Let's have a look at your web price, shall we? £38.20. Bearing in mind it's 925 sterling silver we're working with here, 120 pieces of 925 to be specific. And you've got that findings pack you can see on your screen now. And you've got the smoky quartz as well. Now, it's 925. Think of the chain mail high end. You know the brand I'm thinking of. That high end one. We're talking triple figures for that, aren't we? And that too is your high quality. You're working with the same quality here, but it's not going to be £38.20. Now, if you went online and bought all these individually now, it will be £38.20. Use your discount code GPGC16. You're getting £27.95 for this. It's over a tenner you're saving on this. Just because we're taking the price down, do not for a second think that means you have to take the price down of your creations. Mark it up at the price that it should be. This is such a stunning deal, and trust me, when you see the pieces, we are talking high-end, hands-down, spectacular gorgeousness. Over £10 saving on this. All of this today, everything you can see on your screen, with way over, well, 125 pieces of 925 essentially, isn't it, with the beading caps as well. all of that today for just £27.95. This is a deal not to miss, because honestly, when you see this design, I think fall in love is the word. Take a look at exactly how we've created this beautiful bezel-like effect with the 925, the silver and the rose gold. This takes mixed metals to another level. Take a look. Wow. Wow.
Well, the one next door to it actually was what I started off with at home ages ago, before I started doing the chainmail projects. And that is the same weave used as a bezel, but with a larger stone.
I see.
And I just thought, well, that shows you how it can be used as a bezel, and all I've done is put a pin through the back and looped it through. But it looks so lovely just as a pendant by itself, as a standalone. So I thought, well, rather than put a bead in the middle, you can see that it can be used as a pendant, or it can be used as a bezel if you want to, and you can almost fold it around the edges of the stone if you want to. But it's just a nice way to use them.
It is beautiful. And when we think of chainmail, I know before we were talking about how when you think chainmail, you instantly think, I'm going to need 100 and something of the jump rings. But for this, how many did we actually use to create this?
I used 18 of the large, I think it's 18 there. And how many of those? 3?
Of the smaller ones?
About 40.
And you've got 100 of those smaller ones.
I've got loads left over here, absolutely loads.
That is spectacular.
You could probably, there's enough there probably to do a Byzantine cross or something with that, so you could do another pendant if you wanted to.
How beautiful, a matching set perhaps. That is so exceptional. Now honestly, £27.95, what do you think of the price?
Oh, it's fabulous, because I know how much you would sell that for in the shop.
Go on.
You probably sell it, because that is sterling silver, and I would probably put sterling silver chain, not the plated, to go with it, obviously. And if this was a sterling silver chain, you could sell that for £70–80.
Easily.
And that sounds a lot of money, but I honestly, go online and see how much these sterling silver chainmail pieces are, because they do take time to make, and they are sought after. They really are. They are sought after.
The fact that you could create this, and even if we were being really, really nice and said you'd sell it for £50, you have literally made your money back and doubled it.
It does depend where you sell them, obviously.
Of course, yes, of course. The money-making possibilities on this are really exceptional.
They are.
Now the graphics are off at the moment, but they're coming back in right now. Get your hands on this. It's so special chainmail.
It is, and it's nice to have sterling silver. I know I made the other kit up, but I just wanted something for a change to have sterling silver, because I'm asked so many times, where can I get sterling silver rings from to make a sterling silver chainmail bracelet, or whatever, a pendant or what have you. And it's lovely to have the opportunity to make this. I mean, because the people didn't, I know not everybody likes chainmail, which is why I decided to do the bracelet in front, because it's nothing to do with chainmail. That is just taking a few of the findings and putting it together. But it still looks expensive, and it still looks classy, and the smoky quartz, you know, I love anyway. So this bracelet's just using just the findings, but I've hardly used any findings at all. I've still got all the packets in front of me that I haven't even opened.
Wow, you've got so much left.
So much left. Just think what you can make with that, and all I've used is a few of the smoky quartz, and I've got almost, you know, a huge strand left over. So much more jewellery can be made with this. It really is a money-making kit, really.
Definitely. And the special thing I always think with 925 jump rings is when you're creating pieces, you can create 925 necklaces, 925 bracelets, but to do a 925 ring is actually quite tricky. Until you're working in this formation.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've made rings before, and you could make a stunning ring using these as a little flower technique, which I've done before. In fact, you could almost do a small bead cap using those that we're doing later.
Love that idea.
Which would look really, really pretty.
Fab. Right, let's get started with this pretty design, shall we?
So, this is using something called a Helm's weave, and please take note, because this is your homework. For next time.
For next time, okay. April the 7th, we think.
Right, I'm going to check in my diary later. So this is what I would like you to make your 3 lots of bracelet in Helm's weave, okay?
Okay.
So how do you start? You need to have large rings and small rings, and the way you find whether you've got the right size rings is to put one inside the other. One has to fit inside the other, otherwise this will not work. It doesn't matter how big the rings are or how small they are, but one has to fit inside the other, otherwise this will not work.
Which in this kit they do.
They do.
Perfect.
So I'm going to move that out of the way, and you start off the Helm's weave, and I will put the instructions for this on Facebook, so you've got it for next month. You need 2 large and 2 small rings in the middle, okay? Like so. So I'll hold that up like that.
Yeah, I see.
All right? 2 large and 2 small.
Fab.
Then you place 1 ring over the top. That's why they have to fit it in the middle. 1 ring over the top of the rings that are in the middle.
I see,
Okay?
yeah.
Then take 1 of your open, large rings. I'm going to have to pick that up, I'm afraid, to put it on my finger,
Yeah, go
otherwise
ahead.
I can't do it. Put that over the top, and your rings go through, only through those 2 blue ones. All right?
I see. So that gold one that you put on just before that is not actually really attached to anything
No,
right now.
that's
It's
just circling,
resting.
just circling those 2 blue.
Fab.
All right? So you've then got something that you've got 2 rings. Oops, let me pick that up for you. 2 rings, 2 gold on one side and 1 on the other.
I see.
All right?
Yeah, fab.
The next thing you have to do, I've got one I made earlier. The next thing you have to do when you get to that point is then put some blue rings, move that off, is put some blue rings through the 2 gold. Okay? The 2 gold.
Yeah.
So you put 1, and then you put a second one, and then you end up with that. You've got 2 rings, hold it like that, it's probably better, okay? 2 rings through those 2 rings there.
I can see.
All right? So that's the next stage.
Okay.
Then here is the tricky bit, because you have to encircle those 2 blue rings with the next ring. The way to do it is to hold it quite firm, hold the blue ones before it, and just let the others drop. Push your gold ring underneath the first one, like so, and underneath the second ring. You need to really push it, and so that then encircles the next blue. So it goes in between the 2 gold and goes round the blue.
I get you.
All right?
Yeah.
Like so. Oops. Turn it round. Like so.
Perfect.
Then the next stage, this is when it gets repetitive now. Up till now you've just started off the weave, then it gets repetitive, and this is very similar to the full Persian, because you now need to put a gold on one side, like so,
through the blue.
through the blue, and a gold through the other. In fact, I've run out of the gold. Let me just take one off there. One short. So gold on one side and a gold on the other, encasing the one in the middle, and you just repeat that. So then you put 2 rings through the end, encase it in the gold ring.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you put one side, one the other. 2 blue rings, encase the rings, one side and then the other, and you just repeat it and repeat it and repeat it until you get that, which is called a Helm's weave. And I will put the detailed instructions onto Facebook. Next month I'm going to do 2 weaves. One's called the dragon scale, which is very advanced, and I've been asked for ages and ages, but we'll work through it. We'll just do that in 1 hour. And the second hour I'd like you to get 3 bracelets in the Helm's weave. It grows really, really quickly, and we're going to make that into a really spectacular cuff.
Fab.
Okay, we're going to weave them together.
Homework.
So
sorted.
you need 2 size of rings, and you need some extra small rings to be able to lock them together.
Okay.
So you need an extra sort of 20 or so little rings. So you need 3 bracelets like that.
This to me looks like really simple.
It is.
Beginners could
It is,
have a go at
absolutely. In
this.
fact, I've got a
But it's really
bracelet.
effective, isn't it?
Really
Very
effective.
effective.
And this weave
But
we will be
simple to do.
using 2 or 3 times, because you can embellish this. You can do patterns around the edges to make S's, and just absolutely gorgeous. Here's one. That's a Helm's weave, but you can see the different size.
Beautiful.
And I think there's a red and black one somewhere around. I think it's upstairs. That's Helm's weave, but you can make that's quite Egyptian. I think the looking.
Very.
Yeah. You can use whatever colours you want, as long as you've got 3 same length to go around your wrist.
That's wonderful. I have had a question in that will
Yeah.
just fit in
Go on then.
perfectly now. Thank you very much to Paula for sending this in. Said, for Helm's weave, do the small rings have to fit exactly inside the large ones, or can they be smaller?
They can be smaller
Or
as
would that
long.
work poorly?
Yeah, they can be smaller as long as you can get 4 rings, 4 of the larger rings through. Because that's what you're going to have to get for the pattern. You're going to have to get 4 large rings through those small rings. So as long as you've got room to get 4 rings through, that's fine.
So the size that we've got in this kit today works perfectly for it.
They do. In fact, I think I've put 3 rings rather than 2 rings. I've put 3 rings.
Yeah.
And I'll just show you exactly how I've done this, because it is slightly different.
Okay.
All right. This is exactly the same as I've just shown you, this Helm's weave, going all the way around.
Yeah.
But here are what was equivalent to the blue rings, and I've put 3 rings here because I just think it looks pretty. And I've used the rose gold, that's right. And I've used 1 of the larger rings in the centre, and then I've attached it to the circle by lots of little small.
The smaller silver ones that
Silver
you get in the
ones.
kit again, those are the 5 mil, aren't they? The
And
same
that's
size
just,
as the
that's
rose
right.
gold.
That's just to stop it being quite flexible. It's just to hold it in a circle. So all I've done in there is you've got an extra large ring, and I've put the tiny little silver ones just into it, just 2 at a time, round the ring, just to hold it in place, so it holds it into a circle.
That is really special, isn't it? The fact that you're making way over a £10 saving on this to create such a gorgeous effect. And the beading caps as well on here.
Oh, they're so beautiful.
Beautiful.
I wish I had loads of them, because I could make bicones and loads of things with them. I just think they're so gorgeous and delicate.
Gorgeous little cuff, aren't they?
Aren't
So
they
treat yourself to
lovely?
this today, over £10 saving. We are going to have a look at something else with Debbie in mere moments, but I want to give you the chance to stock up and own an alternate colourway for so many goodies. Now, you've got so many different coloured jump rings in here. Let's take a little look, shall we? You have got 100 of the black. You have got 100 of your brown, all Sorkil, all aluminium. You have got the orange, 100 again. You've got the beautiful royal blue. You've got 100 of this very berry red. You've got 100 of this old gold saw cut. These ones are brass. You've also got the beautiful green aluminium, and you've got the gold in the aluminium 6.7 mil. These are all of the goodies you're going to be getting. So in total, you're getting 2, 4, 6, 800 jump rings. The size on these, they are all of them are an internal diameter of 6.7. So what designs can we use these ones for, Debbie?
Well, if you were to put a stone at the end of the full Persian bracelets, you'd have enough to make 8 full Persian bracelets.
Wow.
Because you need 124. And if you put something like a Labradorite or 2 stones, either, I've done things with 2 stones, like this one here. If you sort of fill up the ends by putting a stone at the end,
yes, I know what you mean.
take a couple of rings away from your design. So then you don't need so many jump rings. You see what I mean? So from one end you can put a stone at the end, and you can lose 2 or 3 jump rings.
That's
so
brilliant.
You've got enough there to make 8 full Persian bracelets. You've got enough there to probably make 8, 10 half Persian bracelets.
Wow.
And goodness knows how many Helm's weave bracelets you can make if you've got just simple little silver rings to go in the middle.
Yeah.
But you've got enough here to get your homework ready if you've got smaller rings.
Shall I bring your price in? 800 of these, £20.60.
Good grief.
We're not done there.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not £20.60. It's just £12.95.
You need 80 to make a Helm's weave bracelet.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can make 10.
Yeah, you need smaller rings. In fact, you only need 60 of the larger.
Yeah.
No, 55 of the larger and whatever makes up for the smaller. So not very many at all, actually.
Say I made a Persian from this.
Yeah.
How much for one Persian bracelet?
Yeah, would you sell?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I take your time into account as well. I say this every time. People won't buy it if it's too cheap. It's better to go more expensive
gotta be something wrong
than
with
cheaper.
it.
Yeah, they'll say, oh, that's cheap, I'm not going to buy that.
Yeah.
And especially put a stone on the end of it, a nice gemstone. I would not go lower than sort of £20.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least. Actually.
Definitely.
Yeah, about £20 with a nice toggle clasp.
Like this one.
With or without, yeah, because that's
£20.
aluminium. That's an aluminium.
It's aluminium as well.
Yeah.
So, essentially, you can make how many of these from these 800 jump
Well,
rings?
you can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8.
If you put a nice big toggle clasp on
Yeah.
and a nice stone
Maybe a
at
nice
the end.
gemstone.
Yeah, because you're probably about 20 short, so it's not that many.
Wow. More than half of my stock has gone on this already. It's a whopping saving. Should have been way over £20 and it's £12.95 for you today. All of these goodies are coming your way, and if you've got this in your basket, please check out. I don't want you to miss out on these 800 of your jump rings in the different colours. We've got the black, the brass, the brown, the gold, the green, the orange, the red and the royal blue. So many stunning colours, so usable and workable as well.
And if anybody bought the leathers yesterday, I turned on and just saw 5 minutes of the show yesterday, and I saw a pack of leather with the similar colours.
Yeah.
These look fabulous, worked onto leather. Filigree and that sort of thing, but it do look stunning.
Definitely. So from this pack, I can make 8 of these, which means, yes, all right, I'll add on a gemstone in my mind and everything, but if we were to sell it for £20 each,
yeah.
20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140 pounds-ish.
Yeah.
You can make from this. Yes, you'd add a few more. Oh no. Oh no. NAGC93. If you're on the phone, stop right now. Thank you very much, as the Spice Girls once wisely sung. Stay where you are. Da, da, da. Stay where you are, because they're about to sell out. They're about to sell out. You can have a go, get on the phone lines now if you want to, but if you have missed out, sorry, but you can make your own with back in stock wire coiling gizmo as well. Now, actually, we were talking about the Helm's weave.
Yeah.
I don't know what I want to call it. Helm's weave. You could, with this, make your
two
own
sizes.
two sizes that would fit inside.
Yes, you could.
Can't you? So, say I was to do the thickest rod and got an internal diameter of the 5.2, then which one would I want to use?
Well, you have to take into account what width of wire you're going to use. So 3, 4, 5, I'd probably go, if it's a 0.8, you get away with a 3.2mm.
Yeah.
Or if it's a 1mm, you'd have to go for the smallest hole, which is a 1.8.
So to do the Helms, use the thickest one to create the internal diameter of the 5.2, and then use the second smallest or the middle one to create the ones that will fit inside to be able to make this. £7.95 is the price on this today. It is the Deluxe, the professional wire coiling gizmo at £7.95. Right, Debs, let's have a little look at the... I'm very excited for this one, you know.
Why?
I don't know,
Why
I just think it looks ridiculously
it's very useful.
expensive.
It's a very useful, I think, tip. You can see lots of tips, can't you? You think, nice, but no one would ever use it. But this one is useful. It really is useful.
Definitely. We're looking now at how to create the beaded caps with the chain.
Yes. So I started out with the one right on the end. Oh no, that one's got the black bead that's got in the first kit. Sorry, you can't see it on there. That's got the stunning black agate bead. I think the sparkle on that is just amazing.
This is the jump ring from the first set as well. We're going to put the graphics on for this in a moment. Yep. And
the necklace next door, I thought, well, if I put two together, what can it look like? So I thought, and it looks a bit like a bead. So I've linked them together into chainmail beads, which I think would be quite nice. In fact, I wonder if you could extend that and make it a really big chunky bead. The one on the end was what I started out with. That's using 1.5 wire, but we didn't have any in stock, so I couldn't make any rings up. But that's how chunky it can go. It
can go really chunky. Now, the information that is on your screen right now is from our first kit, and we've used the jump rings from that kit to create this, including that deluxe gem scoop as well that we had that created these beautiful drops on here. You've also got the wonderful findings pack too, and you've got the black agate as well on there in that rice bead too. And you had the chain nose pliers, I forgot. Everything you can see on screen now is what you get. Now, it was a great saving on this today. It's just £27.95, but it should have been over 40. £27.95. You get the deluxe gem scoop as well, and those rice beads with the chain nose pliers and all of those jump rings. And these are the ones we've used to create the look that we're working with today. Let's have a little look at where to start with this then.
Okay, this is fabulous sort of design, not only to make your bead caps, but to make flowers. You can connect them and make up bracelets. You can do all sorts of things with this. She's all excited.
I am,
right,
I can't wait.
Starting off, ever so easy to do. This is a really simple one, really quick to do. So you start off with a large and a small. Now this is the same technique as the Helm's weave. You have to have one that fits inside the other, otherwise it won't work. Okay? So go for a small ring and a large ring, and you need 3 large rings there, and you connect them with the small. The only reason I'm using these brightly coloured ones is because it's easy for you to see at home.
Okay.
All right. So I've there got 3 green and 3 red, and I'm going to connect them together like so. All right. Like that.
Yeah.
Now I need to drop that down onto my surface a second, and you need to get these into a triangle.
Okay.
Like that, all right, with your 3 connections here. Very similar as the Helm's weave. You then, I need to pick that up and just pop it on my finger. You need to put over one of the green rings another one of your large rings, so it fits in the middle.
Okay.
All right. And then, before I drop it, I need to pick up another large ring, and I go through the green ring that's in the middle of that orange one.
I see.
Okay, like that.
So again, the orange one's just running free at the moment, isn't it?
Exactly. So just let that fall to one side just for a second. Then you need to take a second orange ring and put it over the green ring that's adjacent to it. Now I have got the picture in a minute, which I shall show you. I haven't got it on the web, but I've got it on with me, which I'll show you, which will make it easier.
Okay.
Hold on a minute, I'm going to put that right on my finger. Honestly. There. And again, the red ring goes through. Once I connect this, you'll see what I'm talking about. Let me just close that up. Now, if I hold that, I can talk you through it. Here we go. You've now got your orange ring round one green one, your orange ring round the other green one, and the red one is connecting through the 2 green. All right. I'm going to turn that round 1 petal, and I'm going to take my last closed orange ring and put it over the remaining green one that's got nothing over the top of it at the moment.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take my red, and this has to go through 2 green ones. So through the one that we haven't done anything with, and through the next adjacent green one.
I see.
You will tell me, Becky, if you don't see, won't you?
Oh, you know that I will.
Because people at home, I want them to know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then the last red one goes through the 2 green that aren't connected. So, got 1, Oops. Now this is quite tough to do. You have to sort of bend it into the bead cap shape to make it go.
That has just lifted itself into this shape that it needs to be.
And there is your shape, and that can either be flat as a flower, or it wants to do that, and it wants to go into a bead cap. Now I've got lots of different colours here. You can do all sorts of things, and you can probably connect them together like a bracelet if you wanted to. Not all these colours, obviously. But they do automatically want to do that. They do want
to sit
to
proud.
go. They do. They want to sit into a bead cap. So that is how to do your bead cap. Now you can continue doing that and reducing the size of rings, keep going through different rings, and make it into like a pound cone, which I have seen in a magazine. Do you think I can find it? I want to try and do that. I'll try and find it.
That sounds brilliant.
Okay. Now, how do you connect them together? So I've got 2 bead caps here that I've done in black and gold, and the last set of rings that I put through, okay, which is like that. So I've got 2 bead caps. I'm just taking my last 3 set of rings and passing them through the last 3 set of rings on the opposite side.
I see, exactly.
All right, I'm not going to do the other 2 because my fingers will get in the way, but then you end up with a bead like that.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so you just link the last 3 rings you just put through each other.
I see.
Okay, so it's quite simple to do. But I do think this is something I think I would use a lot, because I think sometimes you run out of bead caps, and bead caps can be really, really expensive. And you find one, but you can't find the second one. You want to put either side. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes.
I know what you mean.
And this is a lovely way of adorning your beautiful gemstones. In that necklace, actually, I've got beads inside a couple of those. I've actually put a bead inside, so you can have it like a cage and have a bead inside. But it's ever so simple to do, but I just think it's quite nice. But I have got here, which I'll put onto Facebook when I get home. Whoops.
Okay. This is the depictation.
I've got that at home, which I'll put onto Facebook when I get home, and that just shows you simply how to link them together.
That's easy to see, isn't it, on there? That's really good. We will upload that onto...
I'll do it when I get home. I've got it on my computer.
Facebook. Lovely jubbly.
That's a simple one, isn't it, really? But it's nice.
Isn't that so
I can't wait to see all your designs on Wall of Fame now.
What about when we created them, this link around here, that's with that Deluxe Gem Scoop, isn't it?
It is, and there's very, very few that I've used. I've hardly used any at all.
Is this the scoop?
Yep. Yep. I've hardly used any at all, and these are all the findings that I had left over from that particular kit that I've hardly used.
Oh my goodness.
All of these. So it really is a brilliant kit, because I've hardly used anything at all.
Yeah, you've
nothing
hardly touched it really.
There's some superb little pear drops in here for little charms, and oh, just gorgeous, just gorgeous.
How wonderful is that? £27.95. It should have been over £40 for you today. And essentially, from the 2 kits we've had, you've created these beautiful pieces that look...
And I've hardly touched any of the findings.
Yeah, but you can use them for everything.
Oh, yeah.
You always need findings, don't you?
Yeah.
Which one's your favourite?
Bead cap.
Yes.
Definitely. I love the
cap.
black bead with the bead cap on the top. I just think that I would wear. I could imagine me wearing that with a black polo neck, and that with a black pair of jeans, and feeling as though I've got something really special.
I agree with that completely. I think the bead cap's there, but for me as well.
That is stunning. I have to say, yes, that is. Now, I would probably make this into a brooch or something, because I think that would look really pretty. Because medals are so in come the summer.
Yeah,
All epaulets are coming back. To put that on a brooch pin and have lots of chain hanging from it would look fabulous on a black blazer or something, a black jacket with a pair of jeans, really nice.
Oh my goodness, I love that idea. And this one with the 925 as well.
It's very rare you get that in a kit, that's why I wanted to do something a little bit different.
Yeah.
And I know it's more expensive, but I think it's worth it.
Yeah, and
really
the thing is as well, if you were just to get it into a kit that was maybe a beading kit, then okay, maybe not so much. But for something that you have so much money-making abilities on the technique of chainmail itself, it's worth it, isn't it?
Well, you and I know that if you put sterling silver into a beading kit, it knocks the price up so much, which is why I thought this is an opportunity with just one strand of gems to put both the sterling silver and the plated, and you can choose whatever you want to do, but you can keep the plated findings and use that in your jewellery making anyway. But the sterling silver is so rare to get that many jump rings that I just thought it was a bit of indulgence, really.
Definitely treat yourself. Now, Debbie B is with us here until, oh my God, have you seen the time? It's 10 to 4.
Oh my goodness
Time
me.
is flying today.
Flying.
We have got Debbie until 5 o'clock this afternoon. So
busy.
any questions you may well have for her, get in touch. All you have to do is go to www.jewellerymaker.com. You'll see a send a message to the studio box. Type your message in there, it'll wing its way to us. Alternatively, you can text us as well. Now, text number 60777. Start your text with the word JM Studio, and that will get to us in mere moments. And we're going to try and answer as many of your questions as we can, not just at this section here, but also in my final hour, which is, can you remember?
No. Sorry.
£10.
Oh yes.
Or less
yes.
is my final hour.
remember.
So we're going to ask a few of the questions, hopefully in that time as well. Get your hands on this whilst you can for £27.95. So I've got a few questions for you now. This one is from Anonymous. Hi, could Debbie just show the start of the links again, please? I missed the very first bit.
Which one?
The bead cap.
The bead cap.
The bead cap has only just come in. Not a problem. We can do that for you, definitely.
Can. Where's all my stages gone? Talk amongst yourselves. What have I done with those?
Chat amongst yourselves. What is everybody doing this weekend? Oh, the weekend's over.
Yeah.
What have you done this weekend?
This weekend?
Yeah, what
not
have
a
you done?
lot because my husband's been poorly.
Oh, he has, hasn't he? He's got poorly throat.
He has got a poorly throat. Right, I have to take one to pieces because I haven't got any more of these links.
Okay.
Talk amongst yourself.
If you do have any questions, do feel free to get in touch with us today. We'll answer as many as you can.
Should we go on to the
And you
next
know
one? And
what?
I'll do this in a minute.
Let us know what you've thought of the show as well. Get in touch about that. Are you enjoying it so far? I've got a question for teacher Debbie. It's about homework.
Right, go on then.
From Susan in Spain.
Yes, go on then.
Oh my goodness.
We've got nice weather here at the moment, by the way.
Yeah.
That's so rare. I had to say
I know,
that.
I had to say it. This one says, hi Debbie, you asked us to do 3 bracelets. Do we finish them off with findings? From
Nope.
Susan in Andalusia.
No, you're going to put them side by side, but I'm going to show you how to link them together to make a really nice wide cuff. But no, just make the length of your wrist and just leave it unfinished.
Isn't it unusual to have someone not only instantly but excited about starting homework? Oh, you're a cracking teacher, you, aren't you, Debbie? Thank you very much for sending that in. What is the weather going to be like in Andalusia? Gorgeous,
I don't
isn't
know,
it?
wonderful. Right, I've got this ready now.
Thank you very much for that, Susan.
Started off with 3 large links and 3 small links, like so. Okay, 3 large, 3 small.
This is for the beading cap.
This is for the beading cap. And then you link the last one with the first one. Okay, and then you put it down into a triangle, like so. Now I'll put the rest of the instructions onto Facebook when I get home, but that's how you started it off. If I drop it, actually it's easier, isn't it? So you can see it. Trying to hold it in my fingers, that doesn't really work. Right, there we go. So you hold it like that. So you've got 3 small and then a triangle of large. And then I'll take you through the rest when I get home.
Fab. That's how we started it off. So thank you very much for sending in your message. That's happened. So it's £27.95 on all of the goodies that you're getting. Can I ask you, how about... Oh, I've got a message for you. I'll get back to that in a minute. My other message is from... MYGC15, and that's your code. It's from Chris in Cleveland. Hi Chris, thank you for joining us today. Hi both. I love chainmail, and Debbie makes it look so easy. How long does it normally take for a designer inspiration to get on YouTube, please?
Don't know.
Very
Ryan might
good
know.
question.
Do you know how long?
Should be on pretty much straight after.
About half an hour.
Within an hour. Within an hour or so, usually. Unless now and again, sometimes it goes on a couple of hours later. But keep your eyes open for it, Chris. It should be on. And also, a lot of these are repeated throughout the night as well, so keep your eyes peeled for that. This is from Ms. Mary, and you're in Sussex. Hi. Says hi. Is full Persian the same as box weave?
No.
Love chainmail. Thanks.
No, that is
Slightly different, isn't it?
Yeah, that's full Persian.
The gold is the full Persian.
Sorry, Ryan.
And the multicoloured is the box.
The gold is full Persian and the multicoloured is the box weave. See, they're slightly different.
Yeah. You can see the difference.
You can see the fox's tail. You can see the fox's tail going up here. I can see why it's called fox's tail.
Yeah.
Up here, whereas this you've got your horseshoes running all the way down.
I see. It is a slightly different look. How would you describe the difference in look?
Well, the box weave is made exactly the same as Byzantine, but that's made with 4 links rather than 6 links. It's exactly the same technique. And this one you do more of a weave, I would say. You link the weave together. One is a horse and one is a fox.
I see. Yeah, good.
That's got your horseshoes and that's got your fox's tail. Animals, you see.
One's a box.
One's a box.
One's a fox.
One's a fox.
Brilliant.
There you go. One's a box. A box.
Now,
this is more of a box is boxy, isn't it? It's square.
Yeah, boxy.
So
I'm trying to remember when we did that box. Was it the first?
The very first one.
The very first one back in January.
Oh, back in the day.
If anyone does want to recap on how to do that, it should still be on our Jewellery Maker YouTube page, and it's the first one that we did in January.
Yes.
Have a little look for that.
Yes.
Another message for you from Barbara in Dorset. Hello, Barbara. She says, hi, Debbie. Great afternoon. I've bought all the kits, and I'm going to try the half Persian tonight. I can't get enough of chainmail from Barbara.
Half Persian is very confusing. I'm sorry if I confused you there, but I will try and get some pictures done and see if we can get them uploaded. But it is a nice one, I have to say. It is a nice one.
It is a beautiful one. And do have a little watch back on YouTube later if you want to follow
even more
it step by
confused.
step as well. If you like jump rings jumping about, then it's cracking one for you to have a look at.
All over the place.
Thank you very much, Barbara, for keeping us posted on all of this. Now, I just want to remind you about the back in stock goodies that we had for you. Not only did I have the wire coiling gizmo, but also we had to take it off screen because I was so low in stock. I had the metal jig for you as well. Now, we haven't got many of it left in stock, but I want to make you aware that we have still got some for you. It's wonderful for creating symmetry, links, beautiful pieces, creating your own little logos, your own little looks, your own findings as well.
Yes,
you can create with it, can't you? It's your deluxe metal jig, and this is what you've got there. You're going to get the base, which has those lovely little soft padded feet. You also get the doodahs. What are they called? Cogs, I want to call them, but they're not.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know what you call them actually. I don't know what they call them in the kit.
Pins, they're called, aren't they?
Pins. Stick to pins.
Pins. And as well, you can't see on there, you get the little clear pin covers to pop underneath so that they stay nice and sturdy in place. Back in stock. £9.95, and my friend is back. Trust me on this. So low in stock on this now, so low. I've got you Gizmo, and this is the 5 mandrels.
Yes.
Now tell me, I've got 2 here, one's short and one's really long. Why? What's the difference?
It's just that one's slightly finer than the other.
I see. So
that's good for making little gizmo coils for rings that you wouldn't necessarily need as long.
Yeah, I see.
So I think it's probably for small findings.
For the smaller findings.
I think so.
It's back in stock and it's just £7.95. And do not forget, it does have that clamp on as well, which is so easy to use, isn't it?
It is. It's all there. You don't have to start searching around the house for something that you can't find. It's just all there, ready to go.
In one place.
Yeah.
In one location, and it's £7.95. QG ZX79 is your code on this, and it also has all the internal diameters on the back. If you do wish to use it for your chainmail, then this is your one-stop shop tool to give it a go today. £7.95 is the price. Now, I've got some more messages coming in. Do send in your messages. We're going to answer as many as we can, and why not? It's your show today. Start your text with the word JM Studio 60777. Message in whether or not it's something to do with chainmail, or perhaps you've tried something out and it hasn't gone that well, you want a few tips. Give us a message in. This one is from Jean in Staffordshire. Hello Jean, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Hello Debbie and Becky, loving the show as always. Been with you from the start of chainmail, just great. I made an Aragon weave
That's
bracelet.
really complicated.
Regards,
well
Jean.
done, because that's quite complicated to do. You send us a picture. Or put it on Facebook. Yeah, it's lovely. It's a really, really nice weave.
What kind of effect? I've not heard of that weave before, to be honest, Jean.
It's quite, if it's the one I think it is, it's quite a Celtic sort of look to it. It's really, really nice. Quite a heavy weave. I don't know what size rings you've used, but it's quite a heavy cuff. It's really nice. If it's the one I think it is.
Gee, will you put a picture of that on Facebook, please? Or maybe send it into the Wall of Fame. I'd love to have a little nosy at that.
There's so many weaves, I'll tell you. You can go on forever with these. You really can.
Jean, thank you so much for sending that in, and I'm really glad you've been watching it step by step with us so far. We've had a cracking time making it all, haven't we?
We have.
It's been so much fun. Thank you very much for that, Jean. I've got another one in for you. This one is from Sharon in Essex. Hi, Lady B.
Oh, thank you.
Have you paid her to say that?
No, that's what Jenny calls me.
This one says, how many commissions or projects are you working on at the moment? I bet you're very busy. Loving the show.
I only do things for the show. I don't have time to do any commissions or orders. My life is jewellery maker, really. My house is jewellery making.
We work you
as Linda
so
will tell
hard.
you. Yes,
don't we?
You do. I can't tell you how many projects I've got on at the moment. It's just everything's everywhere. You walk in a room and there's polymer clay piled up, and then there's things in the oven. You think, oh, there's no food in there. There's beads in the fridge. Everywhere. Jewellery maker.
We've got exclusive footage of Debbie's bedroom.
What?
It's the workshop room next
I've often said we ought to be like little slugs hung up in the cupboard, with stripy jewellery maker sleeping bags. Just
snugs
just get one out, just get
and then we just roll you out. Thank you so much, very much. Send that in, Sharon. Beforehand, what did you do? How much were you doing?
I was trained as an interior designer. That's what I'm trained as. But it's why I like colour, and that's why I like polymer clay, because it's like fabric but in clay.
And you can create these printy looks with it, can't you? As well?
Yeah, you can. But it's the teaching that I love more than anything.
And do you know what? You're very good at it as well. I have got a super surprise. Am I right if I do this? Is this kind of right? Do I dare say Beyonce? If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. You've been messaging in about it. Huge surprise. We've got something back in for you. Can you guess what it is yet?
No.
Well, that's weird because you've been using it all morning. And we have got it coming up for you.
Right, okay.
I've got a real treat coming up for you soon, and do not forget it is our under £10 hour after the break. Also, I'm going to squeeze as much in there as I can. Plenty of messages in for it. It's coming for you and it's worth the wait. I will see you after this very short break. Stay tuned.
Today I've been on the Wirework for Beginners course, and it's been really helpful to me. I've bought wire and I bought tools and not really had the confidence to use it because I'd feel like I was wasting it. So to come along and be shown exactly what to do and have one-to-one tuition has been brilliant for me, and it's really given me the confidence to go ahead with my jewellery making now.
We all know that you need the right tools for the job. So here at Jewellery Maker, we have developed our very own tool set just for you. In this larger set, we have provided more tools to help you develop your jewellery making skills even further. The kit includes wire cutters, a bead reamer with replacement tips, an awl, tweezers with a scoop, a sliding gauge, a snip, and all the essential pliers you will need. All of this is yours for just $15.95, neatly presented in a carrying case with an embossed Jewellery Maker logo. Stay tuned for more advice, tutorials and demonstrations of jewellery making. We provide the tools, you provide the skill.
Jewellery Maker have an extensive range of DVDs for all abilities. Each of our mediums has an introductory DVD to help you get started. If you're already an experienced jewellery maker, we have a collection of projects and more advanced DVDs to take your designs to the next level. We are always filming new DVDs with our specialist guest designers, so visit our website for more information.
Hello, welcome back to Jewellery Maker. Now you might think you're seeing the wrong person here, but I would just like to say that we have got a new guest designer which I'm going to introduce to you in a second. But we have this wonderful kit that she was surprised with a little while ago. And I'll take you through what's in the kit first of all, then I'm going to ask her to come and join me. Okay, so in this kit, what are you laughing at? In this kit we have 4 packs of polymer clay, 4 wonderful colours which I chose for her. And we have the wasabi green, we have the, what's that one, the blush pink, and we have the ecru and the denim blue. We have a very, very pretty little flower mould there, and some silver mica powder. Now that's what's extra to what we get in a normal kit. So that's your polymer clay part of it. And then to go with it, we have a string of pyrite and a string of rose quartz. Now the pyrite, I'm desperately trying to see that on the screen, is, I can't see the size.
What's the carrot?
Is, can you see the carrot there? No.
Guess.
No, guess. See, this guest designer here is just interrupting me all the time. We have a pyrite.
280 carats.
Thank you very much. Right, out of my ear. 280 carats of pyrite, and rose quartz.
Rose quartz is 380.
380 carats of rose quartz.
12 mil.
12 mil rose quartz round. Thank you, to the side of me. And we have your plated silver copper findings, silver plated copper findings, and you can see there on the screen everything that's included, the chain and jump rings and earring findings, etc. So you can make up your kit. Now, we have here some examples of the wonderful guest designer. Shall I introduce you to our new guest designer here? Would you like to come and join me?
Hi, hello.
Hello, this is Becky.
Hello,
you don't know
everybody.
Becky.
Hi.
And these are Becky's wonderful designs. Would you like to talk us through where you started?
Absolutely,
Thank
Debbie.
you.
Now, I was very much inspired, of course, by the kit initially.
Yes.
On this side, I like to think of this as very much a sort of festival fairy garden. Oh, it's wonky. She's had a wine. She's had a wine. So
I think that's wonderful.
You'll see here, I've used the chain in the findings pack to do some little movable legs and all. The mica powder as well. You see I made some canes here.
Very nice,
AKA,
very impressed.
Another guest designer inspired me on that. As well as this as well, you'll see sticking on the theme of the fairy garden, I've also managed to create a ring here.
Very nice.
Which I would describe as understated. Quite small,
yes,
isn't it?
I would think the
Not
same.
over
Be
the
nice as a
top.
little badge or brooch or...
Possibly,
Yeah.
possibly.
Yeah, yeah.
As well as this, because of these beautiful tones and because you had the gorgeous pyrite,
Fabulous.
you can bake.
You can.
So, and therefore I baked the pyrite in this very much waterfall inspired piece.
I can see that, yes.
What do you think?
I think it's absolutely fabulous. About the one on the end as well.
And the one on the end inspired by twists and curves and weaves, and of course the wonderful Gemma Quo as well, giving me some ideas on this.
Very good.
So the price on this kit, I'm not sure what it's going to be, Debbie, do you know?
I really don't know what it's going to be.
Know.
No, I've no
You're
idea.
the presenter. You know.
I haven't got anybody in my ear telling me what price the kit is.
Is this the web price, Debbie, do you think?
I think it probably is.
What do you
and
think?
the web price is $34.92.
Wow.
So that's such good value.
That's
but
such good value.
But for you today,
Yeah.
from this wonderful new guest designer,
Yeah.
the price is...
It's crashing down now.
Is it really?
I'm guessing £32.
Do you think so?
Yes.
That'd be a
What
very
do you
good price.
think?
I think that'd be a very good price if it is. $24.95. Cheap at half the price.
Cheaper, half the price. And of course it's important to point out that I had half a block of polymer left after creating all of these.
It's fabulous.
On each.
Didn't she do well?
Didn't she
good.
do well? Becky's blissful bouquet! I think I'm officially out of a job and you two should watch your back, Debbie Bulford.
I'm going to leave you to it.
Thank
Bye.
you. Now we're going to be headed over to Debbie in a little bit just to have a chat to her about what she's been up to and what we've got coming up later on. But before all of that, I'm now in my £10 and under time. I've got a super special thing for you to create. Some gorgeous chainmail pieces. Now, honestly, truly, it's just come in now. Honestly, we're literally upstairs creating some pieces. I cannot wait to show you some of these goodies today. Now, in my under £10, not only have I got things such as your DVDs, but I've also got strands that when you look at them, you wouldn't think they're going to be under £10. But today, for you, on Designer Inspiration, they absolutely are. And I have something so special to come up for you as my star buys. And they work and complement each other so spectacularly. This is a strand of so vibrant green onyx. Take a look. Isn't that spectacular? This is coming up, but also, and see what I mean when I say these go together so beautifully? How special is this? I've got your appetite coming up for you in a little bit as well today. These are my star buys. It's under £10 an hour. I'm going to get through as many of these goodies as I possibly can for you today. How about a super special surprise? This has been created upstairs minutes ago, literally. You've sent in your questions, you've sent in asking about it, and we listened to you. You are getting in here your large toolkit with all of your essential tools. We've seen Debbie using a lot of these pliers and things today, haven't we? And these ones are great because they've got the extra squidge on them. They've got the larger handle. You've also got your what do I call it? Dr. Who screwdriver thing here. The sonic screwdriver, it looks like, doesn't it? You can attach all your different files in this, and also they get stored inside. It's a great little thing. You've got a measurer, you've got your scoop, you've got your tweezers, and you've got 5 sets in fact of your pliers, including your crimps, which I know people have been begging for. We've got them in this kit. But the thing we are really, you'll see the price there, by the way, $15.95. Do remember that price. Do remember that price. And then I said, if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. It's here for you. It is literally just got into the building. It's just been delivered. Jump ring opener. Now, Debbie, we've seen you use this a lot, and you even said you can't live without it now.
I use it all the time. It doesn't matter whether I'm making chainmail or not. I just find it very, very useful. It's like a third hand almost. It just saves you having to put the pliers down to open a jump ring to get to the next stage. You just automatically just open a jump ring by putting it into whatever size groove, because it has 4 different size thicknesses. Whichever one your jump ring will fit into, that's the one to use.
Yep. It really is. It's so simple to use. It's got the 2 sizes here, and then as I switch it around, you'll be able to see the other sizes. And you'll notice that when Debbie is using this, you're using a set of pliers too, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
At the same time, to just get a good purchase and to open them up, which is why we've brought you this wonderful kit with it. Now, this toolkit by itself, £15.95. You saw it on the advert just then. We have got the opener back in stock. It's literally just winged its way into the building, but we're going to give you a special offer on this together. £15.95 for the kit. Your price today, £12.95. I have had so many messages in today to ask about this, to ask about what Debbie's using. We knew it had landed, but we got told that we weren't going to be able to get it for you. You had loads of messages in, and we tried, and thankfully someone upstairs has just managed to whip us this together. Your price, you're not only saving money, but you are getting a tool that is so simple to use and so easy that there's nothing that will go wrong with it. And if you've not used one of these before, you honestly will think, how did I live without that? Because if you think to open a junk ring, you've got to get a pair of pliers, another pair of pliers, pick your junk ring up, open it, to then put that back down to pick up another, to open up another. With this, 1 pair of pliers, in, twist, done, in, twist, done. It's really quick, isn't it?
It really is quick. And whenever we have the chainmail workshops, I have quite a few of those in my bag, which are mine, but they always borrow them, and they all say, well, where can we get these from? Because it is so quick. If you're not used to doing chainmail, it is like having a third hand, and it stops you having to put your pair of pliers down, and then your weave falls apart, and it's difficult if you're just starting to be able to find out where you were. You need to go back to the stage where you were, so it is really useful.
Definitely. And what I would say as well is, if perhaps you're looking at this and you wanted to get the opener, but you've already got a toolkit, you can't really have too many toolkits, really, can you, Debbie B?
No, I've got, well, loads of them at home, and I tend to put, one's in the lounge where I sit at night and do my jewellery, and then one's in my workshop, and I've got one in the car that comes with me here, and you know that wherever you are, if you're upstairs, something's going to be downstairs, isn't it?
Yeah,
or something's going to be in another room, so it's better to have tools all over the place, really.
Of course, definitely. And you can see £15.95, it's the normal price, but no matter what you're doing, you're going to need at least to be using 3 or 4 tools realistically in your thing, aren't you?
And those are much more comfortable than the standard toolkit, because I have, as I said earlier, I have arthritis, and these black and white ones are stunning. They're really, really soft, and they're lovely to use. But the red ones in particular, they're ergonomically designed. So when you put them in your hand, the handles are longer, so it doesn't hit the nerve that's halfway down your palm.
I see.
It extends further. So if you've got arthritis, it doesn't give you that ache that some pliers do. It comes a lot longer in your palm. It's difficult to explain, but the handles are a lot longer. They fit nicely.
I see. Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that we've managed to get this in. Honestly, even if you've got the toolkit and you want to get your hands on this, we're doing you a discount on both, essentially. £12.95 for the large toolkit, and everyone's favourite, your jump ring opener. Now, I'm in now to my under £10 section, and I have got genuinely some real pearls in here for you. White.
Gosh.
Pearls. This is going to be quick paced. If you see something you like, you're going to have to get yourself on the phone or put it in your basket and check it out, because I'm going to be moving quickly through here. I want you to have the next 40 minutes or so to get as many products as you possibly can, so do keep up. FEPO 12, 9x8 mil. Let's get your price in on the white cultured pearls. £5.95, and it is the Baroque as well, so it's got that real natural organic feel to it. And also you can tell with Baroques that they are natural. You can tell they're real. You're not going to have these on your stall and people are going to walk past thinking, oh, they're, you know, faux pearls on there. You're going to be drawing people in with this. And I think now and again, it's really easy to forget, isn't it, the price of pearls out there on the market and beautiful pearl pieces and pearl sets. It is easy to forget the price of them. But here today, you're getting it for just £5.95, and it's definitely worth your while picking these up. Bridal, you can't do any better really than white pearls, can you? Bridal and white pearls, they're sort of synonymous with each other. So perhaps you are getting yourself a boutique, or perhaps you're doing some commission pieces bridal wise this time, then £5.95, it's gonna be something that you're going to be asked for, but also it's going to be something that's really wanted and enjoyed as well. You've got beautiful pearlescence here. Can you see with the white ones, you get pinks and you get greens as well on this too. The pearlescence in it's really special. And although these are baroques, they're not actually that irregular, are they? They're all pretty similar. They're only a mil out from being your rounds as well, aren't they, in the size? 9 by 8 mil. They are really pretty, and just with a really pretty bracelet, I think. What would you think of doing with these? Because they're the white pearls, so special.
You can go wrong with doing 2 or 3 strands around your wrist, just with a simple, you know, beautiful charm or something at the front. Or, you know, these are just, they do shout wedding. You know, you can't get away from that fact.
No.
And I just think that the cream pearls are something that you will never ever tire of.
No.
They are so timeless. They are beautiful. I would probably mix those with probably some sterling silver or gold, and do something very, very simple. Really simple. A simple row of necklace and a nice little stretchy.
I love that idea. They don't need overworking, they truly don't. They do the talking for themselves. And the thing is, we've had pearls on quite a bit recently. We are getting to the point now where our pearl stocks are actually going down. We're trying to get some on reorder, but we got an influx of them and they've been flying out. So do get your hands on it whilst you can. There'll be nothing worse than being asked for a commission that's going to be a bridal, and you think, oh yeah, I can get my hands on those JM beautiful white pearls, and maybe we haven't got any in. It's a multi-buy option for you today. Save yourself the hassle, because let's face it, these are never going to go out of style, are they? £5.95 is the price on these today. And how bridal is this? Sheila would be in love.
Oh, isn't that gorgeous?
Isn't it?
That's beautiful.
Doesn't that just work beautifully? I'll bring these to you now, actually. This is my faceted quartz. Stay on the phone for the pearls. Check out your baskets. If the graphics go off, it's not because we run out, although actually handful or so left with the pearls. But we are going to move on. I want to get as many as I can in, because I've got beautiful pieces in there, such as this. 30 carats of your clear quartz faceted rondelles. These are 3 by 2 mil, and it is a 28 centimetre strand. Imagine this bridal on a fascinator with a tiara twist. What are these saying to you, Debbie?
Well, exactly as you just said. And the lady that was on the Sunday Experience made a fabulous tiara. Never made one before. And it looks stunning, just on a simple silver or gold band, and just twists. They can be made into nice little tiny daisy flowers and put onto a tiara. They would just look beautiful. Even in a ring, in a bubble ring, put them on lots of head pins and have them all spiky.
That's a really cute idea.
Really nice.
DZRU14. How about we bring your price in today? £5.95 again. So essentially, if you got this strand and that those pearls a moment ago, you have got yourself a whole set for under £20, or under £12 in fact, isn't it? That's really special, and that could be a bridal piece done.
Absolutely.
Couldn't it?
Yeah.
Of course, you wouldn't be selling it for £12.
Absolutely not.
Nowhere near that. Nope. This is 30 carats worth of your clear quartz, and it is the rondelle. It's a tricky shape to get your hands on and to create, because such a small surface area. To facet them to give this high sparkle and this high shine, it's so tricky to do. It's a real skill. £5.95. That's what price we're working with on this beautiful strand today. I told you we're going under £10. I don't just mean by a few pence. You're getting an entire strand, a lengthy one as that, for way under a tenner. Just £5.95. The lovely thing actually with the quartz as well, with the clear quartz, is the fact that the colour itself just goes with anything. Imagine behind
wow.
it. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Look how it just picks the colour up. Isn't that fab?
It's good if you put coloured wire through it as well, because you can see the colours of the wire.
Really picks it up. I will bring this to you. Now, what do you think of this strand?
I think it's fabulous.
Isn't
Oh,
it?
that's lovely. Really girly pink. It's gorgeous.
It's really poppy, bright, fun. This is festival vibe. This is holiday, isn't it?
It is. Put it with white and you've got your summer holiday. Put it with black and you've got your evening.
Yes. It's
Beautiful.
really versatile. 60 carats worth of this chalcedony, and they're in the plain squares. It's a beautiful, bright, burst, zap of colour. It's almost neon.
It is. It's beautiful.
Actually.
Absolutely. So isn't it nice? There's some nice bright colours now. We're coming towards the spring, summer. It's cheery, isn't it?
Now, you know we were talking about the chainmail and we were talking about that big brand that does the chainmail. Wouldn't it be nice to intersperse the shape with that look to give it a bit more of a feminine feel? Yes,
that would be lovely. Well, those actually put in between, like a Byzantine weave or something, would look absolutely stunning.
Definitely on board with that. How stunning. It's 22 centimetres. How about we take a look at your price? We know it's going to be under a tenner, but how much by? Your price on this today is just £4.95. Your face, Debbie B. What do you think?
I think that's stunning. I mean, look at that on your wrist. I think it's just so lovely, so different.
Oh, I'm tanned, I'm on my holidays, I'm having a lovely time.
You could make it like a button bracelet as well, where they go, they wouldn't sit next door to each other, they'd sit flat.
Yes, like buttons.
Weave,
I know, yeah, flat on.
That's right.
Oh my goodness, I love the idea of this. And in fact, because of the shape too, you could checkerboard them.
Yeah, you could.
Couldn't you? Oh, I think that's such a fab idea. £4.95 for this QERU 89 60 carats of your beautiful pink chalcedony in these graduated. How about, you know, you were saying evening.
Yes, see? Oh gosh, look at that.
What do we think?
There's something about pink and black that just looks sophisticated, but with a bit of girliness to it. Do you know what I mean? It's like girls' night out, but sophisticated.
Similar to myself, Debbie.
Of course.
You've got here, it paired with this black onyx. What do you think?
I think it's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, do love it.
I think it's beautiful. This strand of black onyx I'm going to bring to you right now. Now, the black onyx is something that is so bold, isn't it? It's completely jet in tone. 85 carats you've got here, and these are your graduated pairs. Now, they are center drilled, which means you've got this beautiful drop effect here. If you were to have these on a head pin, say with one of those little quartz or the chalcedony just propped on top of them, loop it around onto a shepherd's hook, you've got yourself a pair of earrings there in minutes, maximum minutes. So simple, so elegant, but also quite dramatic in a sense too. Onyx is a beautiful gemstone. It's something that's renowned. It's something that I think a lot of people, even if you're not a jewellery connoisseur, like I know a lot of you out there are, even then I think you'll recognise the name Onyx. It has got a bit of prestige about it, hasn't it, realistically? 85 carats worth you have here of the beautiful Onyx. I've got some stunning onyx coming up as my star buy that would work beautifully with this as well. How about we bring your price in? £5.95 is the price on this for you today. And again, even if you're just to do a stretchy with these, a stretchy will go through here easily. In fact, the drill hole in these are exceptional. £5.95. And if we're sticking with the family, yep, green onyx for you. How about adding a real colour pop?
That's lovely.
Yeah, do you like that?
Yeah, that's quite vintage, isn't it, really?
I agree with that. Definitely,
It's
very
quite,
vintage.
something sort of Art Deco-ish sort of about it. Do you know what I mean? 1920s, 30s.
And isn't it lovely if you got these together to be able to work with a piece of jewellery that is just onyx jewellery,
Beautiful.
but it's statement and it's different. Maybe it could be an onyx collection that you create. Because sometimes you're going to be working with loads of different gemstones, which is nice, but to work with the same that's so different is going to be fab. And if you do like this green onyx, good, because it's my style buy. Now, onyx is one of those gemstones, you know what I'm like, you know that I'm a bit of a story time person. I love my myths and my legends. Now, this is a start buy. Of course, we are in my under £10, however, honestly, this might not be under £10, surely. Maybe it can be. We all know that I'm into my myths and legends, and apparently the word itself actually comes from the tale in Greek times that says that Eros, the Cupid, was said to cut the nails of Venus, and because she was a heavenly being, these nails therefore could not die or fade and actually turned into onyx themselves. And actually the idea of that, you can almost see it with these claw-like drop shapes, can't you? 90 carats worth of this green onyx. It's a star buy. I want you to be able to own this, be able to treat yourself to this. CDRU 64. Get yourself on the phone lines for this mythical gemstone at a truly epic price. £9.95. It's a star buy and it's under £10 for you. It's such a gorgeous poppy hue. It's bright, it's light, it's springtime, it's airy. If you want to add a zest, a burst of tone, this is going to be the one for you. It's the colour of Mother Nature herself. Green, we know, goes with everything. It's the stem colour, isn't it? Every flower, it comes from a beautiful green, similar to this, doesn't it? Stem. So any picture, realistically, or colour you want to create with this, it's going to just match and pop. And in fact, with it twisted like this, what about a gorgeous vine with this?
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't that be exceptional? What would you do with these, Debbie B?
Well, I think that would look lovely if somebody had an evening dress and had a French pleat in their hair to have them going up the side.
Oh, I love
in a
that.
vine. I think that, well, you said the vine, I think that would look really, really pretty.
Love
really
that
pretty.
idea massively. This was such a high-end piece, and the way that they've been cut, you can tell because the care has been put into them. The faceting itself is so exceptional, so symmetrical, and creating little flowers because they're top drilled.
Oh, that'd be so pretty. So, and there's something about that colour that lends itself to rose gold. It just looks the most beautiful colour. I don't know what it is with rose gold. It looks nice with the silver, but the rose gold warms it. I can't tell you why. It looked almost like an old rose and the stem of the rose. It's just beautiful.
That is exceptional. I love that, the fact that, especially with these types of stones, when you do mix it with the different metallic colours, it just
changes. Completely. Yeah, changes completely.
Changes. If you're thinking of going to a wedding as a guest as well, it's going to be kind of stand out, isn't it? It's the type of piece that someone will comment on. In fact, if you are to make jewellery out of this, I would say it would be one of those pieces, because it's that nice emerald green, that when you wore it out, people actually might stop you and ask you about it. And therefore, you can obviously have a little chat, can't you, about you make jewellery, and then possibly even get a commission in that way, because it's standout jewellery that gets people's eyes caught. And the fact that you can have genuine onyx in that for £9.95 is spectacular. It truly is. Sandra, Stephen, Josephine, Barbara, Jane, Lynn, Mary, I've got so many of you purchasing this. It's all right, we've got a good enough stock at this moment in time, but they are flying out massively. £9.95. It's a stunning strand and it's yours today for a great star buy price. How about we add a little bit of, we were talking before about how the colour changes. How about mixing it with a smoky quartz?
Could do.
It gives it, it almost cools the colour down, doesn't it?
It does.
It gives it more depth. I'm going to do this one for you now actually, but I just think it's wonderful to see how you can mix this with different things. If you got that pink chalcedony before.
Oh yes, that looked gorgeous, wasn't it?
Special, I'm going to put that back, special. I've got for you, have you seen
those?
the length of these wheels? Now, what do you think of this strand, the wheel shapes?
Well, I love that sort of shape. So I would put that in the middle of, you know, those lovely shards that you had earlier that were moonstone and what have you.
Yeah.
I would probably put one of those in between because I think the moonstone and that sort of tone, the smoky tones, look fabulous.
Love
but that also, I don't know what the lads think, but I think that could be made into some Maille jewellery.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. And I've got my trusty ruler. 30cm ruler.
Gosh, it's a long strand.
It is a long strand. I'm guessing around 32 centimetres on this strand all in all. Now, let's have a little look at the different change in colour that you've got on here. Real range in here. The graduation and the range in colour makes this really versatile. You've got some that have a really delicate, almost clear actually. Can you see that one there? Almost clear. But then as you go into the middle on this strand, you're going so dark, cappuccino, smoky tones in there. You've got a real blend in this. It's a gorgeous graduation on a wheel. It is your plain wheel shape. Let's give you a really good price on it. £4.95. What do you think?
I think that's a really, really good money spinner. I would buy 2 or 3 of those because I could see that put on cord with a little bit of a macrame finish for a man on the back of the wrist. But also those size of gemstones are invaluable when you're making jewellery. Because those are sort of gemstones you always grab for to put in between others.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
They're your staples that you'll look at and you think, oh, I just need something to go in with. Oh, yeah, I'll put one of those. And you'll wish you'd have bought more.
Yes, definitely. And when you've got it in stock at £4.95, it's definitely worth the treat. 80 carats worth, graduated wheels, less than a fiver today. £4.95 for you. Get your hands on it whilst you can. Now, I've got for you some chain here. Chain. This is your 925. Now, we were talking earlier about creating those chainmail pieces, and you said for the one with beading cap, a bit of 925 chain. Would you mix this with your pieces?
I think I would actually. I mean, I never thought, you know, doing a bead cap on one of those pieces of onyx and then putting 925 chain on. I mean, that would just look stunning, wouldn't it?
Yes. Definitely, and it's a good length, almost half a metre, 42 centimetres we've got of this. It is 925 as well, but it's last in stock on this. It's really important to know that it's very, very few amount. I'm almost in last chance saloon on this for you today. Now, they're your 3mm open curb chain. Let's get your price in so you've got the chance to own it today. £9.95 for a whole length of it. And if I'm doing it up to my neckline, with it touching at the back, it's actually really long, isn't it? 42 centimetres. So you could easily use this as a necklace and maybe even have enough left over to do a little tassel or some sort, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could do, yes. Absolutely.
Chain is so versatile, and let me have a look. I think I'm safe in saying this, but let's ask the expert. I'd say that the gaps in here are just sizable enough to be able to do a really nice charm bracelet with these.
Oh, you could do with that, yeah, because of the size of the links. Yes, no problem getting a jump ring through there at all.
Yeah. And it's 16 inches as well, just for the sort of comparison, it's 42 centimetres and it is around 16 inches. Don't forget you get the little heart star as well with the 925 number on it too, just so people know that it's yours. It is your last opportunity. Did you get hold of the 925 clasps? Are you getting ready for all those Easter, Spring, Mother's Day fairs that are coming up? These are an absolute essential for you. And even if you are new to jewellery making, okay, you are going to recognise the chain. You're going to know-ish what to do with it. It's so versatile, and let's face it, chain has never gone out of fashion. No. And it probably never will. Stock up on it whilst you can. It's my last in stock right now. And in general, we are running low on 925 chain at the moment. So do get your hands on it whilst you can. £9.95 for you. Say to me again, how about some more pearls? You're gonna need to be quick because the white ones flew out the door. These ones are our minty green pearls in the Baroque style. They're called mint green.
They don't look mint green to me. They're almost silver.
Yes, they are, aren't
they?
Yeah. They say mint green, but I would say the pearlescence is a bit minty, but the actual pearl itself looks more silvery, doesn't it? FFPO 67. These are 9x8 mm. Could you imagine working these with your antiques bronze?
That would look lovely, because I was thinking it looks like the back of an old mirror, that sort of colour that isn't quite silver.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think that does look extremely vintage. That's beautiful. That colour actually would probably suit a lot more skin tone than some of the brighter colours that you can get in the pearls.
Yeah.
That colour and the cream for Mother of the Brides or brides are perfect, because they just look stunning. That I would probably substitute with my darker gemstones rather than a silver spacer, because they do look so silver.
Yeah.
You get that sparkle.
Yeah, I love that, definitely. Shall we bring your price in for this? It's a price match on the other one, £5.95 for you. It'll work beautifully for things like Mother's Day gifts, and also if you have got the spring and the summer fairs coming up, then this is going to work perfectly as well. It's called mint green. I think we're all agreed it looks more silvery, but definitely the pearlescence just has that pop in there. You can strengthen the green by pairing it with that onyx. I've still got a couple of those. Or you can cool it down, maybe mix it with some more blue tones just to cool it a little bit. It's yours today. It's £5.95, FFPO 67. You're gonna need to get your hands on this pretty pronto though, because already I can see plenty of you have checked this out. Make sure you're checking out right now for these, because otherwise you may well miss out. £5.95 is your price for these beautiful, genuine, cultured pearls, sized 9x8 mm. And they're gorgeous Baroque too.
They are, they're lovely, aren't they?
They are beautiful. Now I did say I'm going to have some DVDs coming up for you, and I most certainly have. In keeping with the theme of the day, I have got here for you your Chain Maille Edition 2 DVD. Now Debbie B, tell us a little bit about what's involved in this DVD.
That Chain Maille DVD, I wanted to follow on. The first one went through basic weaves and for silver rings. This I wanted to introduce some colour. So there's a lot of colour. You can see there 2 Helm's weave bracelets, which is your homework for next month. And I wanted to also incorporate gemstones. So it shows you how to put gemstones and chainmail together, and just to make chainmail a little bit more fun with colour and design.
Yeah. And do not forget, this is some footage from the DVD as well, showing you how to get the Helm's weave in there and how to cut up your jump rings. £4.95 is your prize. It's a really good recap DVD, isn't it?
Oh, it is. And I've seen craft DVDs that, you know, £15, £20 plus. Even PDFs can be £4, £5, £6 on the internet.
Yeah, they can, can't they?
So for this, to have an hour's tutorials, and it takes you through about 6 projects, I think. And you can stop it and start it and stop it and start it without any problem whatsoever at your own leisure. And if you don't understand anything, make a note, and then you can ask me next time I'm on. If you don't understand anything. But it does take you through quite slowly the different weaves.
So get this home on top of the jump ring bundles you've bought today, and you can actually play along at home, can't you? This is yours today, around an hour's worth of tutorial. £4.95 is all you'll play. IWTY41 to get your hands on Chainmail Edition 2. And if you haven't got Edition 1, is that an issue?
No, not at all. Not at all. No, it doesn't matter. And that Helm's weave is just showing you how to do the basic bracelet. So if you don't pick it up today or from YouTube, that is what to get ready for the next one.
Ready for your homework. £4.95 for your DVD today. Now, I brought to you some gorgeous sterling silver earlier on, didn't I? And I've got more in a slightly different formation today. It is your 925 sterling silver eye pins. Now, get yourself on the phones for these whilst you can. I'm having a nightmare with the packaging today. It's all good. Get my muscles out. These are your 925 head pins. Take a little look at these for me. Now, the 925 is really wonderful to work with because they are quite malleable. Now, I have just bent this one slightly just to prove how malleable they are. But you can work harden these really simply. Grab a pair of pliers at one end or the other, and if you twist them in opposite directions, they will naturally strengthen. So don't be worried about working with 925. It's not as malleable as you may well first presume. Now, you've got to get yourself on the phones really quickly for this. We have had a ridiculously busy afternoon, and especially when it comes to the 925 as well. 40mm length on these, which means you've got plenty of space to do really extravagant long drops, chandelier effects, or what about creating a little spiral on top of your pieces as well. 20 of these, highest grade, most luxurious. Your price today for 20. £6.95 should be your price. We're gonna take as much as we can off this because we know how much you love the 925, and we want to give you a chance to multi-buy. £4.95, £2 off on this. That is a serious multi-buy offer, isn't it? If you are going to be getting yourself 2 and 3 of these, you're going to be making yourself up to £6 saving, essentially. £2 off each time you buy this. £2 off every time. Are you going to be making a beautiful rosary link chain? If you are, then this is the one you need to get your hands on. Are you going to be creating some really high-end, beautiful wedding pieces? I've got a person buying 4 packs of these. Good purchase. Honestly, for the amount you're saving, £4.95 for these eye pins. And they're so easy to make as well. And also they're so simple too, because yes, you can buy a length of wire, can't you? And yes, you can make these eye pins, but not only does it take more time, but actually if you lengthened all of these up, you'd be knocking onto the wire, which we know per metre is around £16. So actually your saving on this is intense. Great for making your own findings as well. Make your own shepherd's hooks with these. Make your own rosary link chain. Anything you want to do, you absolutely can with these. I think your imagination is the only limit on these beauties. Give yourself a treat today. £2 off, £4.95. This strand is so stunning. Add rosary link chain with these. What do you think of the really high sparkle, intense shiller Labradorite? Did you notice that even when the camera was just coming into focus, you could see that stunning shiller? Look, look, isn't that beautiful? This is really high quality Labradorite. When we're looking for Labradorite, a lot of the time you can actually tell the quality due to the amount of shiller or labradorescence you get, and I think it's safe to say you are getting high quality on this strand. 105 carats worth. You're gonna have to get yourself on the phones really quickly though, because this was so popular before, so popular, that we've not got as many left as we would want to. Graduated from 4 to 3 all the way to 7 by 3, 30 centimetre strand. This is going to be under £10, which you are so lucky to get this higher quality for. Treat yourself today for just £5.95 on this exceptional strand. This is a multi-buy. Did you get those eye pins? Imagine this is a gemstone chain that you could make with this. Even as I'm just moving my hand, you can even see I'm not spiraling these around. It's literally just how it hits the light. You're getting blues, golds, aquamarines, so many different tones running through this of the labradorescent. It's something that Mother Nature creates for us. This is not a coating, this is natural. Completely phenomenal effect that you get on this. It's a complete phenomena, it really is. Completely created by Mother Nature. The fact that she's created this for us and we're able to hand such a high quality on for you. £5.95. And as well, sometimes when you think of gents jewellery, I think you'll often think of maybe no faceting, and maybe you'll think of just one tone, jet black, or just one base colour, brown. But actually, Labradorite, you've got the mixture of tones, you've got the mixture of schiller, but also the blues and the greens make it quite masculine too. So this, a bit of a twist you could use with this, couldn't you? Different mixture you can get with this. It's seriously high quality. I'm saying hello to Tina. Hi Tina, Julia, you've got yourself some. Elizabeth, Rita, Leslie, Lynn, Diane, Carol, Georgina. Georgina, have you got yourself a couple? Oh, cheeky. Carol as well, you're getting some. Alexandra, basket checking out time, people. $5.95 for you. Get your hands on the most exceptional strand. There are people waiting on the phone. Jane, I like how many you've got. Get yourself on the phone for this, because it is, people are on the phone. There's not a queue at the moment, but trust me, it's worth it for the luxury amount as well that you're getting on here. And the cut itself is so beautiful and elegant. Even if you're just going to stretchy this, you know, you are going to be able to, for half of this strand, you're going to be able to whack this on a piece of elastic, which will literally cost you pence, and you should be, I believe, selling that for £10 by itself, and you're still going to have half left. £5.95 for you today. Stay on the phone lines, stay on the phone. I have got one more strand of pearls for you, which I think will go so elegantly with those green that we had earlier on. This is powerful impact pop. Are you looking for something new and blue on your bridal jewellery? Then this could be the piece for you to get your hands on. Now, pearls this year have come up in fashion so much, and they're actually become a bit of a trend with a slightly younger age group than you might normally put alongside with pearls. A lot of the famous pop icons at the moment, your Lady Gagas, your Rihannas, are wearing coloured pearls. So I think that if you want to perhaps add yourself on, if you want to add a new clientele to your stall or to your repertoire, this could be one to grab them in, definitely. The sheen, the pearlescence you're getting is beautiful lilacs, gorgeous blues, even pops of pinks as well you're getting through this. Now, these are the same size as earlier on. Should we bring your price in? I think you can guess what it's going to be. £5.95. These are so beautiful, CCPO, but I've got so many people getting these. I'm going to get yourself on the phone really now. Stay exactly where you are to get your hands on these for £5.95. And if you want another little summit special that will go gorgeous with this, stay where you are for my star buy. This gemstone is something that when it comes to crystal healing is a bit of a phenomenon. Take a look at this beautiful blue apatite for me. This is serious blue tones. Now, if you are interested in spiritual healing, in your crystal healing, or perhaps you know someone who is, then this gemstone is so unusual. When we think of gemstones and their properties when it comes to healing, we all know that certain ones have certain pieces, but with apatite, it actually magnifies, intensifies and mixes as well with other gemstones to encourage their power. So, for example, when we put it with rose quartz, it's said that the power from this gives the mixture of eternal and endless love. But then if you mix it with a clear quartz, it is said that it can change the way you see issues, it can change the way you tackle things, it can give you courage. It's a really beautiful, if you are interested in crystal healing, this gemstone, if you mix it with something, it almost offers you something different every single time, which makes it a stunning gemstone to work with. It's sky blue and it is apatite. There are plenty of you queuing on the phone for this, and you are gonna love the price I've got for you today. I'm gonna tell you it's going to be under £8 today, not by a couple of pence. This is going to be under £8. What I would say is it's a star buy. Star buys this afternoon have been so popular. People have been on the phone for them straight away. I'm going to get your prices in a minute, but you need to get yourself on the phone lines for me now. If you're happy to get yourself one of the stars in the crystal healing world with this beautiful sunny tones, this gorgeous springtime sky blues, your price today on this, £4.95. I told you, I said to you, under £8. Way under, right? £4.95 is your price on this sky blue. SKY Y34 is your price. Honestly, for me, this is so happy. Do you know what? Is it a lovely Sunday afternoon? Have you had your Sunday roast yet and you've been outside and had a little walk and perhaps you've looked up at the sky? I've got to admit, I went to grab went to get changed earlier on, grabbed some of my new dress out, one of my dresses out of the back of my car, and in the car park, loads of people who work here from the warehouse, from the call centre and everything, just sort of propped up in the car park, catching the rays. It looks so nice. People out there with their sandwiches and stuff, so nice. And I think this strand has that beautiful, fun feel to it. John, Tina, Nicole, Elizabeth, Rita, Jane, Jay, Sasha, Lynn, June, Josh, Tina, Eleanor, Linda, Pauline, Nassim, Chris, Cheryl, Susan, Anne-Marie, Paula, you are all getting your hands on this today. Check it out as soon as you can, please, because for £4, almost half my stock has gone. I will not lie to you, I had a good amount of this because it's a star buy. Now is your chance to add a few of these to your basket, because essentially you can get 2 strands for under £10 for this. We said it was going to be under £10 for this last hour, and it has been. So why not treat yourself to 2 of these? Because realistically, I know that when I said it was going to be under £8, a lot of you came on the phone. And let's be honest, with strands like this, it's one of those perceived values, isn't it? And even when I said £8 for this, a lot of you got on the phone because the perceived value for these was probably higher than £8. The fact you're getting it for £4.95 just goes to show you the power of that perceived value. And if you were to work with this on your strand, if you jumped on the phone when I said it was going to be under £8 because in your mind you thought higher, that's going to happen when you've got this in your jewellery. People are going to look at it, look at the intensity, look at the clarity, look at the beautiful shape, look at the beautiful gemstone, and they're instantly going to think that actually the value of your pieces are going to be up there, they're going to be high. The fact of the matter is though, you're only getting it for £4.95. What are you thinking for this, Debbie B?
I would probably mix that with the cream pearls, because I think that would look really, really pretty. That and that together can look so delicate. It's ever so pretty.
Oh my goodness. And again, it makes it pop more.
It does, doesn't it? I just think the two together, those two colours look really beautiful together.
It is a really ethereal look to it, isn't it?
Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
£4.95. Now I am way over half of my stock gone on this already. Way over, almost 3/4. What about with that onyx as well? I'm thinking now, here's my beautiful sky, and then here are all my gorgeous grass tones growing up from these stunning fields. £4.95 on the price. And if you are a bit brave,
yeah, nice. Yeah, I like that.
I love blue and pink together myself. And I think this just talks volumes. If you've got your hands on this, you need to get your hands on this. 3/4 of my stock has gone on this right now. £4.95 is your price on this today. And it's SKY Y34. It's beautiful, it's fun, it's poppy, it's just, and you know what, again, unisex.
It is actually, you're quite right. Do you know what I'd do with that? I'd probably thread it onto some wire and I'd coil it, so it'd be a big coil.
Yeah.
Of just with silver wire, just with a coil of that strand.
Just a little coil
on a
of
silver
it.
Chain.
Oh, I think that's a fab idea. I'm coming over.
Oh yeah.
I haven't been with you for about 40 minutes, so
oh,
it
dear.
Feels like it's been far too long.
Far too long.
What are you thinking up close and personal with it?
I think the colour looks more intense actually over here than it did over there. I think the colour's really, really beautiful. And you can't go wrong, can you? You can put this with pinks, you can put it with purples, you can put it with the white pearls, smoky quartz, black onyx, you can put it with so many different colours.
And it's just going to work beautifully.
Yeah.
£4.95. Stay on the phone. Tiny amount of stock left. Check out your baskets. I cannot tell you how much. We've got about 20 people with it in their baskets. If you all check out now, some might miss out. Now, Debbie B, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
For your third one. Now, remind us, when's our next one and what's our homework?
7th of April, isn't it?
7th of April.
Is that what Scott said earlier?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
7th of April, we're going to be doing the dragon scale. And we're going to be doing the homework, which is your Helm's weave, 3 strands of Helm's weave, and I'll show you how to make it into cuff.
3 strands that fit the wrist, don't add on a finding. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Ed's up next with The Late Show.
And Herkimer Quartz.
And Herkimer Quartz.
Oh my goodness.
How exciting. We will see you on Wednesday, 1 o'clock till 5. Stay tuned for Ed.